It's midweek Wednesday, the 4th of March. It's an ever praise medley from the Bethel Revival Choir. Ebenezer is a place where you get to and take stock of how far the Lord has brought you. A very popular song. Thus far has the Lord brought us. 63 days in the year 2026. So it's essentially about 1/6 of the year and many more days to come. Take stock of where you have come from so you can get the inspiration to go where you really want to go. So it's great to look behind, to understand the journey, to help you look forward towards where you're going. One of my favorite quotes in this season says, "I'm not facing my past because that is not where I'm going, but I will not go to my future without it." I am not facing my past because that is not where I'm going. We can't live life looking in the rearview mirror, but we certainly need it to get a perspective of who's behind us and where we're headed. So the past is a key inspiration and motivation, sometimes a reminder. It could even be painful, but it helps you put the present in perspective and the future in focus. So he says, I am not facing my past because that is not where I'm going, but I will not go to my future without. This is Professor F. Niyate. And that's our business sense for the morning. You don't need to face your past, but you can't get into your future without it. Business Sense brought to you by Absa Bank. With Absa, you get more than a bank. You get tailored banking and finance, like loans, credit cards, and digital banking that helps you save, plan ahead, and take control of life's big and small moments. So whatever saying yes looks like for you, make it happen with Absa. Make 2026 the year of yes. Your story matters, Absa. Let praises resound across the nations to the glory of our living God. We're happy to join you on the Citi Breakfast Show today, and we're starting off with a news review segment proudly sponsored by Fidelity Bank. Switch to Fidelity Bank today and enjoy amazing benefits like lower interest rates, higher loan amounts, personalized financial support, and a smile that lasts. It's time to switch and smile wider with Fidelity Bank. To learn more, contact 0800 003 355. Go to fidelitybank.com.gh or connect with us on our social media at Fidelity Bank GH. And the Bethel Revival Choir started at Kotobabi when we were very young.
Yeah.
When I was in, I think, JSS 1.
Oh, beautiful.
Or was it JSS 2? I'm not really sure now. We went for this.
This must be 1995-ish?
No. This would be 93.
93,
so this
okay.
is 93 is JSS 1 and
Okay.
94 JSS 2.
Okay.
So we did all, at the time they called them EP Church of Ghana.
Yes. That was when the Jobu and Co. fight.
So we did
yeah.
what
There's also comma. That might not be like that.
It's changed. Stop laughing at us. So we went for this
No, I'm part of us.
I know. We went for this thing. It was Sunday schools competition.
Okay.
Across the region, and the first place to host us was Kotobabi. So I remember we used to do programs at a place called Abavana Park.
Abavana Junction.
Yeah, and we slept in the classrooms. They gave us so the church is not far from there, I think, at the time.
Oh,
so some people slept in the church, some people slept in the classroom, you know. And I didn't know that one of the guys I did a competition with at the time, Henry Dachumo, he will eventually be the founder of this choir.
Oh, I see.
So that was 93, 94.
93, 94,
Yeah,
okay.
and then later on, I would meet him in Presec.
Okay.
He was
As a student?
Yes, he was my senior. He used to
beautiful.
play the piano. Then he went to KNUST
Okay.
to do mechanical engineering.
Oh, beautiful.
I think he works at Toyota or somewhere. But he's a fantastic music innovator.
Oh, beautiful.
The likes of Neo Kai. And he is the one who redid the Agbaja medley.
Oh, beautiful.
So he brought traditional drums, merged it with synthesizers and instruments,
Allah.
and produced
Beautiful.
Holy Ghost magic.
Allah.
So sometimes people you meeting, and I remember we had a sword drill competition, and he defeated us.
Oh, really?
Yes, he
It's
won.
Sabi the Bible rough.
Yes, he won in 1993. And he has maintained that fire to today.
No, Charlie, the anointing day.
Brutal.
You don't make it possible.
So this morning I'm greeting all the Kotobabi people,
It's very important.
particularly the Bethel Revival Choir and the Global Evangelical Church of Kotobabi.
Beautiful.
I know Kotobabi has a lot of Bobo groups, Agbaja groups.
Charlie, we all did it.
Kotobabi is a microcosm.
Kotobabi, Newtown, Mamobi.
It's a microcosm of the macrocosm.
Everyone.
The day they go to
You know, if you go to China, you go to US, you find Chinatown.
yes, Kotobabi is like now, Sky wants to name. He wants to rename Kotobabi Newtown Aigbe Town, but he doesn't have the courage to do it. So me, I've done it. Go Aigbe Town. Yeah.
If you go there, he thinks that you are speaking the holy language, the people who understand.
Kotobabi Newtown. One day we need to do the history of. They used to call it Lagos Town actually.
Oh, okay.
Newtown used to be called Lagos Town.
I see.
I know a lot of great people who have come from that corner. Kotobabi, Newtown, and there's a part called Pig Farm.
Big farm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Richard Mensah also has been doing his things. Apparently, Pig Farm is a part of the place. It's near the Total,
The total filling station.
opposite the
Abedipele in place.
yeah those areas. That's Newtown.
Very nice place.
Yeah,
You can get everything you want. Abolo, yake.
yeah, everything.
Everything. Akbele, Amadechi, and Charlie.
Everything.
All of them did there.
Everything is there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the headlines. Richard is here with Samuel Akom.
Yes.
Samuel, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, boss. I'm good by God's grace. How are you doing?
I'm very well. So let's start with the Daily Guide. What do you have this morning?
Yes, the Daily Guide, NPP is for all, not elitist. That is coming in from Alexander Peomarking, and the story will be found on page 3 of the Daily Guide. They also have Agrada is back from prison. That will be seen on page 8 of the Daily Guide as well. And then First Lady and others mourn with Sami Jemfi.
All right.
Let me take you to the Chronicle. The big story says Afenyo marking touts MPP's pro-poor policies. Credits Kofo and Akufo-Addo for introducing NHIS, school feeding, free senior high school, free fertilizers for cocoa farmers et al. Also on the front page this morning, minority takes cocoa price fight to the farms. Well, now
Every week they go to the farm. The press conference in farm.
Azemo, Charlie. NDC stalwarts mourn with Sami Jemfi, a tragic one there.
Oh, Charlie.
Let me take you to the front page of the Inquisitor. And crooked games at Tema Port, importers unhappy as national security operatives, customs officers harass them for gifts. Gift in quote.
Okay.
And then MPA secures 5 weeks fuel stock. That is related to what is happening in the Middle East. The Interior Ministry settles 2025 rent allowance arrears for security service.
Let me take you to the Ghanaian publisher. The big story says MPP is Ghana's democratic pillar. When you're marking quoted here. Also, minority MP storm cocoa farms over price cut. Gamanche summons Kuka over tribal comments. And First Lady NDC gurus mourn with Sami Jemfi.
The Ghanaian Point this morning, Ghana takes steps to secure enough fuel supply amid Middle East tensions. They have also captured that story and it will be found on page 3 of the Ghanaian Point. They also have Alexander Peomarking referred to Parliament's Privileges Committee over recruitment allegations. Then government revokes 541 post-election appointment after review committee findings.
Okay.
Let me take you to the Informer. Don't task citizens to repair Galamsey damages. the CDD boss, Professor Henry Kwesi Prempeh, is advocating here on the front page of the Informer. Also on the front page this morning, established Cashew Development Board. Cashew farmers are reminding President John Dramani Mahama. Elsewhere, minority pushes for PFM amendment. Bail comes with a photograph of Kojo Opon Nkrumah, Member of Parliament for Fancy Ayerobi. And Africa is unique. Don't compare with the West. Mahama is telling Arusha Conference.
Kojo Opon Nkrumah made it to the front page of the news center as well, and the story says minority is cocoa farmers' trusted ally. Opon Nkrumah saying that, and then government to resume domestic bond borrowing. And the President Mahama urges U.S., Israel, and Iran to end the war. And that the 541 recruitment, appointments, and promotions that have been revoked is also found in the news center.
Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times for this morning. Middle East crisis, brace up for economic shocks. President Mahama is telling all of us. Also on the front page this morning, invest in STEM, agri health to fast-track Ghana's development. The minority leader is quoted here. Also on the front page this morning, former Asokore Mampo MC, 8 others fail to meet bail conditions, and government upholds dismissal of 541 employees.
The Herald this morning, 5 customs officers among 9 held in 146 million tramadol tablet bust. And NDC's Baba Jamal wins Ayawasu East by-election amid low turnout. The Alexander Afeomakin demands public showdown over tribe net matter. And lastly, on the front page of the Herald, ex-Cocoa Board chiefs finally face criminal investigations after ignoring audit queries into 32.9 billion Ghana cedis liability.
All right. Let me take you now to the news center. MTN pays some 10.5 billion Ghana cedis in taxes in 2025, a reflection of its role in national economic resilience. That's huge. Also on the front page, minority is cocoa farmers' trusted ally. Kojo Opon Nkrumah is quoted here saying, and government to resume domestic bond borrowing. That is coming in from the Minister for Finance, Dr. Kesel Atuforsen.
Let me bring you the Insight newspaper this morning, and they say old lady cries for justice in tearful plea to President Mahama. I think when we go into the details, we'll find out what exactly she's crying over. And then MPP's Coca invited to appear before GA chiefs. That has also been captured on the front page of the Insight.
Finally, the Daily just says NDC sacked 2,080 workers after winning 2024 election. Minority takes cocoa price fight to the farms. Joe Gatti visits Baumia, calls for unity ahead of 2028 elections, and then also some other stories on the front page.
All right.
What's the latest on the transport matters?
We haven't gotten to that yet. Do you have something in the graphic?
Yes, there's something with regards to transport, and it says transport sector needs stronger framework, coming in from Mauko Afajinu.
So this is the daily graphic.
The
front
daily
page.
graphic front page. Yes, please. You also capture the story where Baba Jamal wins Ayawasu East constituency seat, and 1,201 public workers cleared for recruitment.
Let's end with the last one you
No,
have.
I've
So let me do the online briefly. CCNewsroom.com, Middle East crisis won't increase prices. Aboso kind spare parts dealers say. Meanwhile, the foreign minister says no Ghanaian has been killed or injured in the crisis yet. The government communications minister says 1.5 billion cedis in assets have been frozen under oral. NDC support hedges to 40% as MPP dips. This is Global Info Analytics. Now, Sky, there's a very troubling one here. 16 feared dead in ambulance Ford collision at Putri Chrome. It's horrific. 16 people head-on collision between the ambulance and the Ford. Meanwhile, teacher and farmer die in separate suspected suicides in the central region as well. Then Apenyomakin has been referred to the Privileges Committee over recruitment scam remarks, and ECG said they've launched an investigation into the prepaid meter complaints. Channel 1 News Online is leading with Heritage Caravan. The Ochame Kwame surprised that rocked Magnolia. Also, we told Baba Jamas, we know he is elected MP for Ayawasu East. Next Gen Infraco has switched on Ghana's 5G backbone. Meanwhile, 9 arrested over undeclared 299 cartons of tramadol. And then Niti says Ghana's support for Burkina's Traore should be strategic and not celebratory. Interesting piece of advice there. MyJoyOnline.com is dealing with the same Ayawaso East stories. And then he says 3 months in Nigeria added to my experience. Babaya Jamal speaks after his victory. Meanwhile, MPA halts discounted fuel pricing by OMC's effective March 16. I'll give you a couple more. If you go to the High Street Journal, yesterday you said that, or you read a story that Ghana was going to buy 400 new ambulances.
Yes.
Well, the High Street Journal says before Ghana buys 400 new ambulances, let's account for the ones we already bought.
What happened to them?
Because a number of them are not on the road. The rest of the world is talking about strikes. So, for example, if you go to the BBC, strikes across Middle East continue as UK charters evacuation flight for British nationals in Oman. So they started leaving the Middle East. Bahrain strikes raise question on how US can deal with Iran retaliation. So those are BBC's angles. Al Jazeera this morning, Israel pounds Lebanon. Democrats slam Trump's rationale for Iran. All right. And then other websites like Reuters, they are leading with US assault on Iran ahead of schedule, says US Middle East commander. And then Trump and his foreign minister offer conflicting reasons for US entry into Iran war.
The administration
so whilst Trump is saying something, Rubio is saying another thing.
They are not serious.
So they are basically saying different things. And then those are the big stories from across the globe.
Well, the blowback on us, the president is saying we should get ready. You find that story in the center spread of the Ghanaian Times. Brace up for economic shocks. Julius Yao-Pechechi reports for the Ghanaian Times and says President John Dramani Mahama has urged African countries to brace up for possible economic shocks in the wake of the escalating tension in the Middle East. Now, he said as the epicenter of global oil supply, the hostilities between Iran and on the one side and the US and Israel on the other could disrupt global oil supply chain and spiral prices upwards. There's a quote here that says, we know that big shocks will come, but when they come, we must prepare ourselves to make sure that our people are protected. As it is, the Middle East is the epicenter of global oil.
The foreign
supply.
minister, Okujatua Blakwa, says so far they have not heard of any Ghanaian death or injury. In a statement issued on Tuesday, March 3, after a virtual meeting with Ghana's envoys in the region, Mr. Blakwa said the government had taken proactive steps to assess the situation and strengthen consular protection for citizens. So the meeting was attended by heads of missions in Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, Iran, and Turkey. And after the meeting, the minister said he's glad to report that so far no Ghanaian has been killed or injured. Then the spare parts dealers are also saying that they won't increase any prices under the pretext of
But in spare price, what has it got to do with?
I don't know.
But they don't produce spare parts in the
but they are saying that transport fares will go up, and when they go for the goods, they will definitely
and don't forget that some
so
vehicle parts are imported from
but
Dubai.
not yet. At least
I'm also carrying spare parts dealers. What's your problem? See, they will not be compelled to increase spare parts prices despite the recent surge in petroleum costs linked to escalating tension in the Middle East. You don't see the point there.
Still on the Middle East matters, Ghana takes steps to secure enough fuel supply amid Middle East tensions. And the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has launched high-level consultations across Ghana's petroleum sector to safeguard domestic fuel supply and mitigate potential price shocks arising from the escalating Middle East crisis. Still on that, the NPA says they have secured 5 weeks fuel stock, and that is according to the Director of Economic Regulation and Planning.
Yeah, but meanwhile, let me draw your attention quickly to a story on page 6 of the News Center, which is saying Mahama is urging the US and Israel and Iran to end their
There's a
conflict.
photo on GNA where President Mahama is holding bilateral meetings with Tanzanian counterparts in the person of President Samia Suluhu Hassan at the State House in Arusha. During the bilateral talks, the two leaders acknowledged the historical bond between the two founding presidents, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the Mwalimu Julius Nyerere of Tanzania.
After the government blasted them, during the elections. You remember the statement that was issued?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Let me take you now to page 3 of the Daily Gist newspaper. There's a story there talking about the minority and then also NDC sacking some 2,080 workers. So let me tell you about the first one. The simmering controversy over the government's recent reduction in cocoa producer prices has shifted from Parliament to the farms, as Frank Anodompre, Minority Chief Whip, a member of Parliament for the Nsawam Adwiri constituency, led a delegation of minority MPs to tour cocoa growing communities in the eastern region. Now, the visit forms part of the caucus's growing campaign against what they described as an unjust price cut that places additional strain on cocoa farmers already grappling with rising production costs and economic hardship. Now, the NDC government, as we do know, announced some cuts, and the minority is not happy. We've seen
they have relocated the iron ore policy to the cocoa farm. I saw Sami Oku looking very sad in the cocoa farm.
Earlier we saw Otokuno.
He also entered the cocoa farm. Ghanaian politicians, they will do everything.
Can you imagine?
Now, the story on the GS you wanted to bring me, the GNA has an interesting version.
Okay.
Transition period recruitments. Committee recommends 1,539 of recruitments, appointments, and promotions to be upheld. So the report on the committee set up by the government to probe into last-minute recruitments and promotions made by the previous government during the transition period after the December election has been made public. Felix Kwachio Fosu, the presidential spokesperson and Minister of State in charge of communications, disclosed the content of the report at the Government Accountability and Series press conference held at the presidency in Accra. He said after hearing from concerned persons and institutions, the committee recommended that 1,539 of the recruitments, appointments and promotions be upheld because they complied with the prescribed recruitment and promotions. This implies that they achieved a pass mark of 80% or above.
Wow.
The committee recommended that the recruitment, appointments, and promotions of 541 personnel be revoked because the recruitment process ended after December 7 and failed to meet the pass mark. He also said the number of recruitments, appointments, and promotions recommended for revocation by the committee was lower than the number that the institutions themselves revoked, which is 879. So this gives a different angle to what you were reading in the daily gist.
The 2001.
1,539 of the recruits would be upheld.
What needs to be done is that the people who have been fired unjustly, they should be reinstated, and they should be paid compensation for the misery that they faced over the past 1 year or so following their removal.
Are you going to be their lawyer? What's your problem?
I don't mind doing
They
that.
said the committee found that their appointments were irregular. So
No,
why are you advising them to go to court?
No, I'm saying that those who were unjustly removed, if there were those
okay, no, I didn't read that angle. This is for those who were recruited.
exactly.
I am talking of those who were removed.
Yeah, because
I don't know if the report captures that.
Yeah, the report, from what you have read, there's a suggestion that there were those who were taken out unjustly, sort of. Do you understand?
No. So yes, I know. I don't know if the people were sacked.
Yeah, but the government actually got...
So it means that they'll be reinstated.
That's what I'm saying.
I get you. Fair enough.
Let me stay with the government. Government to resume domestic bond borrowing.
Yes.
The story is in the News Center, page 4, and government has officially signaled its return to the domestic bond market after a 3-year suspension and then restrictions imposed at the height of the country's debt crisis in 2023. Now, the move allows the government to issue new domestic bonds and marks a significant milestone in the nation's effort to stabilize public finances and restore investor confidence.
Give me the tramadol story. You said some 299 cartons of tramadol had been found, then also another one on some investigation of people at Cocoa Board in the Herald.
While you are looking for that, let me just quickly tell you a story about the CDD boss. Page 3 of the Informer has the story. Says the executive director of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, Professor Henry Kwesi Prempeh, holds a strong view that the taxpayers' money must not be used to recover the damage done by illegal small-scale mining, popularly known as galamsey, when criminal beneficiaries and their networks that have caused and profited from such reckless damage are left to walk away with their loot. This is in response to the EPA's plans to recover some of our rivers with millions of US dollars, a position I firmly share, that we cannot use our tax CD like that.
Let me now take you to the Herald. Today's paper, ex-Cocoa Board chiefs finally face criminal investigations. They have photos of Joseph Boahen Edu and then photo of Dr. Randy Abbey. Now, the story says former managers of the Ghana Cocoa Board are facing mounting scrutiny after failing to respond to a series of audit queries from the audit service since last year. Now, according to sources within the current administration, the former officials declined to provide explanations for questions concerning procurement and financial management under the previous leadership, headed by Joseph Boahen Edu, which left a colossal 32.91 billion Ghana cedis in liabilities upon its exit in January 2025. Now, the failure to address the audit findings has prompted the present management, led by Dr. Randy Abbey, to refer some of the alleged infractions to the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, for further investigation and possible criminal prosecution. Now, some of the procurement deals were awarded to Dr. Joseph Sian Ejapong, the founder of the Jospond Group and Accra-based Metro TV, former boss of the current Cocoa Board Chief Executive, Dr. Randy Abe.
Okay. Why do you say Joseph, though?
Yeah, because now I wanted you to give me the tramadol story. The police have been catching a lot of people this week. Now, this is saying 9 public officers have been arrested and placed under police inquiry bail following the interception of a container carrying a large consignment of undeclared tramadol at the Tema port. The officers include 5 customs officials, 1 officer from the Narcotics Control Commission, 1 port security officer, and 1 energy commission officer, and 1 standards authority officer. Mind you, these arrests follow the seizure by the customs division of the GRA of a container loaded with almost 300 cartons of undeclared tramadol, weighing approximately 34,000 kilograms. In a statement on Tuesday, the GRA said the seizure was triggered by intelligence received by the preventive unit of the customs division. And the shipment originated from UAE and had been declared as containing household items, including water kettles, kitchen blenders, pressing irons, energy-saving bulbs, and polypropylene material. However, a joint re-examination by customs and the Central Revenue Monitoring Team uncovered concealed and undeclared tramadol tablets hidden within the container alongside some of the declared goods. So the importer and the declarant have been handed over to the police, but again, their name is not mentioned. So a lot of times, the officials of state who get involved are named, but the consignee name is not mentioned in the story.
Bernard, I just want to quickly draw your attention to the fact that while some people are trying to evade taxes, MTN is doing a great job of giving us so much money. You find that story in the news center, which is saying in effect that MTN has been able to pay us, the Ghanaian people, 10.5 billion Ghana cedis in taxes in 2025. That's a good one, and we should continue to do.
There's a very good article in the High Street Journal. Before Ghana buys 400 new ambulances, let's account for the ones we already bought. Now, this is a very important story because government announced plans to procure 400 new ambulances to strengthen emergency medical services. Many Ghanaians have welcomed the news. Emergency response is literally life or death. But in Ghana's long ambulance history, there's an inconvenient pattern. We celebrate procurement, then struggle with maintenance and usage. Before we embark on the next big purchase, we must honestly account for what we already have, how it's been managed, and why so many ambulances end up idle or improperly used. Before I go, though, let me quickly draw your attention to a number of front pages we deal with Apenyo marking, talking about the MPP's tradition. So, for instance, the Chronicle has the story on page 3. Let me give you just the first paragraph of the story. It says the minority leader in Parliament and Member of Parliament for Efutu, Alexander Kwabena Apenyo Marking, has mounted a robust defense for the MPP's ideological tradition, insisting that the Dankwa Buzia Dombo political lineage has consistently pursued pro-poor policies aimed at empowering ordinary Ghanaians, and therefore meanwhile the speaker has referred him to the privileges committee over some remarks over the recruitment scam. So first deputy speaker Bernard Ahiafo has referred the leader to the privileges committee following complaint by Interior Minister. I want to end with this one. 16 feared dead in ambulance Ford collision at Potri Krom. Really ghastly photos. A devastating road accident at Potri Krom in Ahafo, southeast of Ashanti, has left at least 16 people dead following a head-on collision between an ambulance and a Ford Transit bus. The vehicles involved were an ambulance registration number given and a Ford Transit bus. Eyewitnesses say the crash occurred as the two vehicles, reportedly traveling at high speed, approached each other from the opposite directions. The Ford Transit bus is believed to have been traveling from Kumasi to Bichem at the time. Accounts from the scene suggest that the ambulance, reportedly belonging to St. Mary's Catholic Hospital in Drobo, was attempting to overtake another vehicle but could not complete the maneuver, leading to the collision. Several passengers aboard the bus are feared to have died instantly from the impact. Officers from MTTD at Mankranso reportedly conveyed the victims to mortuaries at Mankranso and Edujama. The Ashanti Regional Minister Frank Amwakwini expressed condolence to the bereaved families, writing on Facebook, and here's what he wrote. I've received briefing about the tragic accident that has claimed the lives of 16 innocent souls at Potri Krom in Ahafo, southeast. My deepest condolences go to the families. May their souls rest in peace. Meanwhile, authorities say they are investigating the crash. Really sad.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. That was a newspaper review.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Ah, Ugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Anna. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Hey, Andrea, challenge these days, new level crowd. Where did you pass?
Me, pass somewhere. I just switched for a better life. Hey. I switched for comfort. Look, your salary deserves better.
Switch?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I switched my salary account to Fidelity Bank.
Oh, okay.
And that's my jackpot. I get higher loan amounts with lower interest rates, as well as personalized financial support. They gave me a loan to expand my side hustle. And the terms are just flexible.
Wow.
Your salary deserves better.
Oh, my salary deserves better. You see the way you are smiling wide? Yes, I will switch and smile wider. Your salary deserves better. Switch to Fidelity Bank today and enjoy lower interest rate, car and home loan, personalized financial support, and a smile that lasts. Switch and smile wider. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
If I believe with us, Fidelity. If I know I lay aside, Fidelity.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Citi Business News at 7 with Netili Ajaho. Good morning, Netili.
Good morning, Bernard, and you're welcome to the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, EcoBank, and Valex. Coming up, government moves to strengthen fuel security amid rising global tensions. Real estate tops Africa's investment chart at over $200 billion, and the Ghana Stock Exchange surpasses 250 billion Ghana cedis as market performance improves. I am Netili Ajahu. Thanks for choosing us. Let's settle for the details now. An associate professor of economics at the School of Economics at the University of Cape Coast, William Nseidu, has warned that rising geopolitical tensions in the Middle East could derail Ghana's efforts to maintain single-digit inflation. In an interview with Citi Business News, he explained that a prolonged surge in global crude oil prices would likely feed into higher fuel prices locally. He noted that increased fuel costs would in turn push transportation fares and production costs across major sectors of the economy, placing renewed pressure on inflation.
The higher global oil prices will immediately increase domestic fuel and transport costs. So the trickle-down effect will be that domestic fuel and transport costs would likely go up, would increase. And when that is factored into other activities, the fact that a number of essential goods are transported, and if it's going to cost them to transport, then obviously it's going to push up inflation, what we normally call the cost push inflation. If you are not careful, it can derail Ghana's recent success in bringing inflation down to single digits. The third is the fact that the conflicts spill over into the Red Sea has fundamentally altered trade routes between Asia, Middle East, and West Africa. So there's rerouting, if I should call it that way. And most vessels now try to avoid the Suez Canal, sailing instead around the Cape of Good Hope.
Professor William Nseidu is an associate professor of economics at the School of Economics of the University of Cape Coast. Now, government says it is reviewing and strengthening contingency measures to minimize the potential impact of escalating Middle East tensions on Ghana's food security. The assurance follows a high-level meeting convened by the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor with key players in the petroleum upstream and downstream sectors. Officials of the National Petroleum Authority, the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, oil marketing companies and bulk importers assessed risks linked to global oil price volatility, supply chain disruptions and rising freight costs. He stressed the need for proactive measures to safeguard supply reliability and cushion consumers from potential shocks. John Jinapor has also directed the National Petroleum Authority to intensify market surveillance and strengthen coordination with industry stakeholders. Sector agencies have also been tasked to maintain adequate strategic fuel stocks and ensure stable nationwide distribution to prevent shortages and minimize hardship. Over $200 billion has been invested in real estate projects across Africa, with the sector accounting for 45% of the total value of projects in Ghana. According to research insights from Deloitte, the findings come as policymakers and private sector actors push to expand housing supply while maintaining fiscal discipline and regulatory enforcement. This report has more details.
The figures underscore real estate's dominance within Ghana's project pipeline and reinforce housing as a core component of economic infrastructure, driving activity across construction, financial services, manufacturing, and employment. While investment appetite remains strong, the firm cautioned that Ghana's tax and regulatory landscape is becoming more complex. Ongoing tax reforms, the strengthening of the Independent Tax Appeals Board, foreign exchange controls, and heightened corporate governance requirements are reshaping the operating environment for developers and investors. The advisory team noted that compliance expectations are rising alongside regulatory scrutiny, increasing the cost of missteps for firms operating in the sector. Businesses are therefore urged to institutionalize periodic tax and regulatory health checks and establish structured response mechanisms to manage evolving compliance risk.
Emmanuel Opon with that Business Desk report. Now, finance and tax analyst Nelson Kujokwa-Agbeji says the introduction of a proposed public financial management bill is a crucial step towards addressing long-standing inefficiencies in Ghana's public financial management system. The minority in Parliament is set to introduce the Private Members Bill to amend the existing Public Financial Management Act with the objective of strengthening fiscal discipline and enhancing accountability in public spending. In an interview with Citi Business News, he noted that the amendment is long overdue and, if effectively implemented, could significantly reinforce Ghana's fiscal framework and improve expenditure controls.
This is actually long overdue. This is a step in the right direction because in the past, what actually caused Ghana's problem has to do with fiscal mismanagement. And so once this amendment is done, coupled with the value for money bill that was recently passed, it is going to help tackle certain chronic inefficiencies within Ghana's public financial system, for instance, inflated contract corruption and the rest. So we believe that when this amendment is done, it is going to tackle these chronic inefficiencies in the system. It is also going to help strengthen accountability and fiscal discipline, and also help in a way to reduce wastage in the system and promote confidence and accountability within the public financial system of Ghana.
Nelson Kujokwa-Agbeji is a finance and tax analyst. Now, trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange ended strongly on March 3, 2026, with MTN Ghana leading turnover as buying interest lifted key indices on the Ghana Stock Exchange. The GSE Composite Index rose 13,000, pushing its year-to-date return to 56%, while the GSE Financial Stock Index climbed to over 8,000, extending its year-to-date gain to 82.82%. Market capitalization increased to over 250 billion Ghana cedis, crossing the over 250 billion mark for the first time. Trading activity slowed, with volume dropping to 4.92 million shares and value traded to 39.30 million Ghana cedis. Active counters included Societe Generale Ghana, Enterprise Group, GCB Bank, and others posting gains. Dividend payments are expected from Anglo Gold, Ashanti, and MTN Ghana in March and April 2026, respectively. Analysts foresee continued support for foreign participation. Now on the interbank market, the dollar is going for 10 cedis 68 pesos, the pound at 14 cedis 37 pesos, and the euro at 12 cedis 62 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of the City Business News. I am Natalie Ajahu. For more stories, log on to the newsroom/business. Have a good business day.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
When the lights go off, when water won't flow, when rent goes up and wages don't, someone must ask the hard questions. Someone must speak for the people who don't have microphones. That voice is the City Breakfast Show, holding power accountable, championing national development, reflecting the true state of Ghana. Weekday mornings on 97.3 Citi FM, the City Breakfast Show, your voice, your country. The City Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Yeah. The 12 and I'm going to back on my way. Go.
Obi Antone Coalition.
Wait.
Obi Antone Coalition.
Yeah.
Obi Antone Coalition.
What else?
Corday.
Huh?
Obi Antone Coalition.
Wait.
Obi Antone Coalition. Obi Antone Coalition. Corday.
Memma woni pe bi embu abonfia ahopo pro mo yenye na buhuntia oye wotam for jano manimvia yambu amu amunsi na bumpia
se ube mu anyo menyi na edi
Caleb Kuda here.
Na nyameni ya wakano.
Natalie Ajahu brought you the breakfast edition of the City Business News. Isaac Gabriel Affairs up next. He's got kickoff for you. Kickoff is brought to you by Polytank. Have you gotten your Polytank Sumo Super yet? If not, this is your month to save. Get 10% off the premium multiple layer Sumo Super Tank from now until the end of Ghana months nationwide. Let's celebrate our heritage together, built with advanced multi-layer technology and reinforced for superior durability. Sumo Super is designed to last, giving you peace of mind for your home, project, or business. So don't miss this limited time offer. Visit any Polytank outlet today. Ask for Sumo Super. Save over 1,000 Ghana cedis. Polytank is the original. We do not request for Momo payments online. Before we get into kickoff, go Ghana. If you're tired of Accra, hustle and traffic and bustle and all of that, listen, take a quick escape to the cool, peaceful mountains of Ebri at Beposo Wellness Resort. Whether it's for business, a weekend break, pure relaxation, whatever it is, Beposo gives you calm, comfort, and fresh mountain air. Perfect place to rest and reset. And it's only a 30 minutes drive from Accra. Visit once and you will never want to leave. Asum J. Kasiapa 0200 55 7699. BeposoResort.com. Visit to book today. Beposo Wellness Resort, peace lives here. And everyone wants better smartphones, better sleep, and if you own a ride, you definitely want better fuel for your engine. That's why Shell brings you the new and improved Shell V-Power, Shell Fuel Save Unleaded, and Shell Fuel Save Diesel. The new and improved Shell Fuel Save now lasts up to 15 kilometers longer per tank, while the new and improved V-Power cleans 100% of your engine's critical parts with every fill. It doesn't get any better than this. In fact, it's better by far. If you're ready to experience the next generation of high quality performance fuel, go to your nearest Shell station and fill up with our new and improved Shell Fuels today. Shell Fuel Save, simply better by far. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Gabby Affairs got you on kickoff.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Wednesday, March 4, 2026. Welcome aboard to Kickoff on 97.3 Citi FM. Coming up in the next 10 minutes.
Midway through the allotted stoppage time. Andre, he'll have a whack. It's deflected, it's in! And Wolves, in all probability, have downed the reigning champions of Molyneux. And Rob Edwards is off on another of those crazy touchline celebrations.
Alright, so Liverpool suffering an embarrassing 2-1 defeat at Wolves as Andre's stoppage time strike sealed a dramatic victory for the Premier League's bottom club place last night at the Molyneux. Massive 3 points for Wolves. Reactions coming up, plus we'll build up to today's games as well. Also, we hear from Black Queen's head coach on the team's preparations for the upcoming WAFCON and more. But before we get into the details, many thanks to our sponsors, Western Union, Polytan Ghana, Shell V Power, and Lesheho. Let's improve life. Alright, I'm Gabi Ofer. Let's start off with the Black Stars. The Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adam, says he will not be surprised if Andre Didayew is named in Ghana's squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, with the tournament approaching, discussions around squad selection have intensified, particularly regarding the former Black Stars captain. Now, the DIU is aiming to make history by becoming the first Ghanaian player to feature in 4 World Cup tournaments, a prospect that has generated significant interest among fans and pundits alike.
We will do well and possibly do better. Well, I think he's picking up also. Once he hasn't retired from international football, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. But that is the coach's responsibility.
All right, so that's Sports Minister speaking on Adom FM. Well, all the way in the United Arab Emirates, Ghana continued their impressive run in the 2026 Pink Ladies Cup following another win yesterday against Russia. Doris Boudoua scored twice in the game as the Black Queens recorded a 4-0 win over the Europeans in their second game in the tournament. Here is an elated Kinlaps Bjorgren after thumping the Russians by 4-0.
Of course, you always dream about the best, but I mean, we knew before the game that they were the favorite because of the ranking and the history. But we also know that we trust our girls so much, and we know that we're just getting better for every game, for every camp, for every day we are together, for every meeting, for every training. We're just getting better and better, and to win today, I'm super happy that we won today, but I mean, in the way we won also with 4-0, and it was deserved 4-0. It's not 4 lucky goals. It's in the way we played it. It's amazing. It's the best game.
All right, so that's Black Queen's head coach Kimlas Bjorgren speaking there. Well, he also shared his thoughts on the upcoming encounter against Tanzania later in the coming days.
Probably it's going to be the most tricky one because we play against another African country that absolutely want to beat us. They would be the underdogs. We know that they have a young talent group of players that they're going to run a lot, they're going to tackle a lot. So if we are not there, they for sure is going to win the game. So we need to be happy tonight and then back to training tomorrow and then show up in the last game against Tanzania.
Black Queens head coach Kimlas Bjorgren speaking there. Well, away from the Black Queens, former Black Starlets coach Lai Kensen has expressed confidence in the current coach in Prosper Natel-Gom's ability to guide a team to excel at the upcoming Under-17 AFCON in Morocco. The competition is scheduled to take place from April 25 to May 15, with the top 10 teams earning qualification to the 2026 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Qatar.
Done very well because Under-17 have not qualified for many years, and he's changed that narrative. I think thumbs up to him. All I'm looking for is not about one coach, but we need consistency when it comes to development. So him extending his contract, I think is the right direction from the Federation. They want to keep the same momentum, and if they keep the same momentum, that will help them going forward. So I think it's a very good move that the FA did. Also with his experience, he's been around for some time now, so no one should doubt his abilities. And I believe that because he's changed the narrative by qualifying the team for a long time, I think he has what it takes to lead the team.
All right, so that's Black Starlets, former Black Starlets head coach Lykinson speaking there. Well, let's head to the Molineux. And Andre scored a 94th minutes winner as Bottom Club Wolves defeated defending champions Liverpool by 2-1. Mohamed Salah looked to have rescued a point for Liverpool after Rodrigo Gomez gave Wolves the lead, but in added time, it was Andre Strike that took a deflection of Joe Gomez to send Molineux wild. For the fifth time this season, Arne Slot's side considered an injury time winner. Here is Arne Slot after the loss.
Of course you can. Like you said, bad result. Far from a good first half. Second half there was a bit more urgency. We were getting closer and closer to scoring a goal, but then conceded probably the first moment they arrived in and around our box. We immediately struck back, first by hitting the post, afterwards Mo. And then we were twice close of making the winner with Mo Salah once in the counter-attack and with Virgil's header. But in the end conceded a deflected shot, which wasn't even a chance.
All right, so that's Liverpool's Arne Slot speaking after his side lost to Wolves last night at the Molineux. Well, we heard from Rob Edwards, head coach for Wolves, in an interview.
Rob, how's the hamstring? Quite the celebration at the end.
It's the groin this time. Groin felt it falling apart. Yeah, it's a nice feeling and a really nice moment again.
I was going to say, you're getting used to it now after Friday against Villa and then tonight against the champions.
Yeah, the lads are doing really well. We're competing, we're improving, and that's all we can ask at the moment. You know, you have to, against a team like Liverpool with a brilliant manager, brilliant players. Like I said, the champions last season. You have to be good, carry out the game plan. You have to be resilient, and maybe moments of luck along the way there. So all of that was needed. But a bit of quality at the right moments as well that we showed.
All right, so that's Rob Edwards, head coach for Wolves, speaking there. Well, so what happened at the Molineux last night? It was the first time in 9 years that the bottom place Premier League side beat reigning champion. Well, at the Elland Road, Leeds suffered a damaging defeat in their bid to remain in the Premier League as second half penalty secured victory for Sunderland. It was down to Habib Diarra getting the goal for the Black Cat. At the Hale Dickinson Stadium, Everton boosted their hopes of qualifying for Europe as they beat Burnley to earn a first home win in the Premier League for nearly 3 months. And then at the Vitality Stadium, it was Bournemouth and Brentford playing out a goalless draw. Later today, Aston Villa take on Chelsea at the Villa Park at 7:30 p.m. Two sides vying for Champions League qualification next season look to avenge their respective weekend defeat. We hear from the two coaches. First off, Unai Emery, followed by Liam Rosini of Chelsea.
Our objective is to be in Europe, and we are in, even not in good form, but we are in. And of course, we are every day trying to recover our good form and our confidence, and Chelsea is our opponent. And of course, it's a tough match. In Villa Park, we are feeling overall really comfortable playing, showing our form consistency.
In terms of preparing for Aston Villa, we know the reason they score great goals is because they have great attacking players. We show individual clips to our players. Our players know the strengths and weaknesses of each individual we're up against. It's going to be a very difficult game. They're very clinical in terms of the XG that they create, in terms of the values of the goals that they score. They're a good team. It's going to be tough because they're going to have a reaction.
All right, so the two coaches speaking there. First off, you heard from Villa's head coach Unai Emery, followed by Chelsea's Liam Rosini. Some more games later today. Brighton will take on Arsenal at the Amex. Fulham up against West Ham United. Forest welcome Manchester City to the Etihad Stadium. And then at 8:15 p.m. there's Newcastle United taking on Manchester United at the St. James's Park. Newcastle will hope their recent head-to-head joy can help them in a wretched run of form when they host a United side on a long unbeaten streak. We started in a reverse fixture. Here's what Michael Carrick had to say ahead of tonight's game.
It's a challenging place to play, you know, when they're in full flow and the supporters are there. I think it's a tough place, so we've got to be ready for that. It's a different kind of challenge again. You know, I know they've had mixed results of late, but they're a good team. Eddie's a fantastic manager. And, they're a real dangerous team. So I think that run of certainly what our run's been like previous, I think that's not one that I kind of look at too much, and certainly the fact that whatever form they're in going into the game, I know this game's a tough game, so we'll have to be ready for that.
Alright, so that's United's interim boss Michael Carrick speaking there. Well, in Spain, Barcelona threatened an epic comeback against Atletico Madrid, but came up short as the holders exited the Copa del Rey at the semi-final stage after a dramatic 4-3 defeat on aggregate. We finish off with boxing, and Floyd Mayweather will have an exhibition bout before he fights old rival Manny Pacquiao later this year. The American superstar, who retired from professional boxing after beating UFC fighter Conor McGregor in 2017, will take part in an exhibition bout against kickboxer Mike Zamberes in June later in Athens. Well, that's the very latest in the world of sport. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com and on X at City Sports JJ. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Western Union, Politan Ghana, Zonda GH, and Lachelle. Let's improve life. I'm Gabi Ofe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Did take care. Bye bye.
From now to the end of Ghana month, Polytank is celebrating with you. We are giving you over 1,000 Ghana cedis for free on our premium Sumo Super range of water tanks in celebration of Ghana. Sumo Super is designed to last, giving you peace of mind for your home, project, or business. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit any Polytank outlet today. Ask for Sumo Super and save over 1,000 Ghana cedis. Polytank, the original, always the best. Panono Ankasa. Beware, Polytank does not request for Momo online.
Are you ready to revolutionize the future of agriculture? The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, in partnership with the Ghana Exim Bank, proudly presents the Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026. The fair will feature exhibitions, market linkages, masterclasses, and workshops on climate-smart farming, digital tools, and export development. Join us at the Black Star Square from March 17 to March 19 at 9 a.m. each day. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will be assisted by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari, and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank, Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, to open the fair. Government agencies, agrotech firms, startups, farmers, financial institutions, and the general public are all welcome. To exhibit or for inquiries, call 0559 9326 or 0242 585419. Media partners: Daily Graphic, Media General, Radio Gold, Citi FM, and Channel 1 TV. Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026, transforming agribusiness through local innovation and technology.
Cast your mind back to 2022. The prices were rising. The stress was high. Every liter of fuel felt like a sacrifice. Do you remember who stepped forward first? When others were comfortable with high prices, Star Oil chose you. We cut our own profits so you could keep your AC on, keep your engines running, and keep your life moving without the heavy burden. We gave you room to breathe when things felt tight. Because of you, our star savers, we became #1. Today, the pumps are a battleground. Others are finally cutting prices because they have to. But Star Oil, we do it because we want to. Don't just chase a price, remember a friendship. We were there for you then, and with new innovations coming your way, we are here for you now. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
We want jobs, right? We want opportunity. It starts with what we eat.
When we eat Ghana rice and buy local chicken, we create jobs for our own people, not for importers.
Eating Ghanaian food isn't just a meal, it's a statement of independence, pride, and progress. Eat Ghana, build Ghana, our food, our future.
The Eat Ghana, Build Ghana campaign is supported by Agri Impact Limited in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation and the 24-Hour Economy.
Whether you're buying
watcher from your favorite spot in Osu, shopping online for the latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, click. So many options, yet so easy. With layers of security protecting every payment, your money stays safe. From Trotro to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard. Safe, convenient, priceless.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The Money Matters segment is brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Welcome to the Money Matters segment with Petra. Some of us avoid checking our accounts because we don't want to see the numbers. But avoiding it doesn't reduce stress, it increases it. Clarity may feel uncomfortable at first, but it brings control. And when you know exactly where you stand, you can make better decisions. At Petra, we help you move from confusion to clarity with simple, practical guidance. A financial advisor is standing by to assist. Dial *447 *70#. Let's do life together. Petra, achieve more.
The Money Matters segment was brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Woman can't be my breath. 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 And yammy yam kunama. I said, you movie. That's your
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. The City Breakfast Show.
Aziwarauza samambia papa. Aziwarauza samambia papa. Aziwarauza samambia papa. Aziwarauza samambia papa. Makebina nyaya. Oh 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 oh. Oh iwe oh iwe oh iwe. Oh ademisa warauza pa. Oh aziwarauza samambia papa. Ayebia. Aziwarauza samambia papa. Makebina nyaya. Ayebia nyaya. Hey, Mr. Kachman. Hey. Oh, Abamu Kofi Eminyo. Ajambo baby so kapasa na oro kwanu nyaku design there. Eh after e wa hankitana. Eh after e wa hankitana. Okay journey there tami won wo hompo. Sara. Narapana, Niakubisani, Ewa Hankitana, Okachira, Lame one walk, Odosododo, Esimaya Udan, Ure Esimia Udan, Ura Esimia Udan, Esemina Jawa, you say trouble woman, Esemina Jawa, you say bufu woman, Esemina Jawa, if a man when Yadra Ura, someone brother boy, somewhere through, some man with Yara. Brother, we hey, Ure Esimia Udan, Ure Esimaya Udan, Ura Esimaya Udan, Esemina Jawa, you say bufu woman, Esemina Jawa, you say trouble woman, Esemina Jawa, if you man when you bra, from a returner. Hey, oh, say every day to us, hey, about how, yeah, go slow, fine, stay ready.
Papa Youngson with that song called Abam Kofi. Wishing a happy birthday to my beautiful wife Perpetual Naadole. Today marks a beautiful milestone, and I wanted to know how deeply and cherished she is loved. Papi, this is not just about the age you have turned, it speaks to your strength, your growth, and the remarkable woman you've become. Perpetual, I'm proud of you, your resilience, the way you hold our family together. More grace to your courage. As you step into this new chapter, I want you to feel confident that great opportunities and brighter days lie ahead. You have my full love, my steady support. This is coming in from Nana Boaji to Na Adole, his wife. So happy birthday to you, Na Adole, coming from your husband. And to Mrs. Chantel Segla, Head of Service Quality and Corporate Comms at First Atlantic Bank. We cherish your love and sacrifice from your husband, Dr. Samuel Segla, and your children, Elikem and Kekeli Segla.
Once why you po, Once, why you po,
Later in the morning, we'll touch base with our team on the Heritage Caravan, this time from the northern regional capital of Tamale. It's day 3 of the Heritage Caravan, going on with a lot of exciting news to report. But in today's connected world, technology is not just a convenience, it's critical. Don't get caught in a bind. Put your worries to rest. Tech Therapy Limited is your one-stop shop for trusted and reliable smart device fixes delivered with strict adherence to data privacy standards. Call Tech Therapy on 0505-789-096 or follow our social media at Tech Therapy GH. Website techtherapy.africa. Our office is at 24 Garden Road, East Legon near ANC Mall. Tech Therapy, your digital wellness partner. When your device has a problem, talk to us for a quick fix. Your business deserves every chance to grow, and Zenith Bank is here to make it happen. Open a Zenith SME account and unlock powerful solutions designed to fuel business growth. Also enjoy the perks of the Zenith SME business card, designed to help you manage business spend and make secure payments for goods and services. You enjoy free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkit, access to Visa practical business skills training, and so much more. For more information, go to zenithbank.com.gh. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Jonathan Syme is living proof that insurance can actually reward you. He's the first raffle winner of the Naturally Motor Insurance promo from Enterprise Insurance. Jonathan simply insured his car, and now he's packing his bags for an ultimate football experience abroad, live at the stadium. Just buy or renew your motor insurance with Enterprise Insurance, and you could win big. A sponsored ultimate football experience, fuel coupons, airtime, and branded souvenirs from now till May 2026. Promo regulated by NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage.
Now, the Ghana Exim Bank is 10 years old. The bank is hosting an international conference on the theme A Decade of Enabling Export Trade and Industrial Transformation, Resetting Exim for the Next Frontier. This is happening from the 25th to the 26th of March 2026 at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel, Accra at 8 a.m. each day. His Excellency President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, will be performing the official opening. A conference will bring together captains of industry, thought leaders, and decision makers in the global development finance ecosystem to deliberate on emerging issues in the development finance space. Call 020-854-1480 for enquiries. eximbankghana.com/conference is how to register. Conference host is Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, Chief Executive of Ghana Exim Bank. Media partners: Daily Graphic, Media General, CDFM, Radio Gold, Channel 1 TV, and Multimedia Group. Knowledge partners: IFC and SME Finance Firm. Now, are you an agro-processing equipment manufacturer or a manufacturer of an agric machinery? Do you have any innovation or technology that can improve agro-processing? Register to join an exhibit at the Maiden Ghana Agricultural and Agro-Processing Technology Fair, Ghana Agro-Tech Fair 2026. The fair is being organized by the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry in partnership with the Ghana Exim Bank, which seeks to showcase locally manufactured agric machinery, implements and agro-processing equipment and technologies. The fair will also market linkages between technology developers, agro-industry businesses, farmers, fishers, and exporters. President Mahama will open the fair. It's happening from the 17th to the 19th of this month at the Independence Square, 9 a.m. each day. To exhibit, please call 0242-585419. The general public is invited. Ghana Agro-Tech Fair 2026, transforming agribusiness through local innovation and technology. Our media partners are Citi FM, Channel 1, Radio Gold, Daily Graphic, Media General, and Multimedia Group. So what if your bank helped you big up? Welcome to Republic Verse, where your money, your business, and your dreams level up. Own your dream home with Republic Bank Mortgages. Grow faster with SME and corporate banking solutions. Run your daily finances smoothly with retail and commercial banking products. Build wealth and investments and trust in management, and pay anywhere, anytime with Republic Visa, credit, or debit cards. Whether you're starting out, scaling up, or stepping into what's next, Republic Verse gives you the power to do more and shine brighter. Call 0800 414 414. Our WhatsApp number is 0546 414 414. Republic Verse, we are the one for you. Now, at Life Source International School, we don't just teach girls, we raise leaders. We develop industry creators, not just job seekers. Life Source International School is a unique all-girls international school focused on STEM and entrepreneurship education. Our teachers are highly trained to meet the needs of all students. Cambridge Checkpoint is JHS 1 through A levels, and you're all encouraged to apply for this one-of-a-kind opportunity. We provide hands-on STEM learning, entrepreneurial career path, and the 7 habits of a leader. Girls develop confidence, discipline, and critical thinking skills, preparing them for life, not just exams. We are at Apam Junction, Life Source International School. We offer a safe learning environment, affordable tuition, and scholarship opportunities are available for 2025-2026. So call us 055-955-2263. Our website is lifesourceghana.org. Enroll today, Life Source International School.
All right, so 2 issues that caught my attention this morning. 9 public officers have been arrested and placed under police inquiry bail following the interception of a container carrying large consignment of undeclared tramadol. Last week, we had 2 big stories from the ports. One was our inland entry point at Akanu, where we were told a truck was attempting to divert goods which was supposed to be transit goods to Niger, back into the country. Then we are told that the OSP was also investigating another truck that was supposed to transit goods into Burkina Faso and had found its way back into the country. In both instances, officials of customs and security agencies had been arrested without the name of the consignee being mentioned. So the same pattern continues today. We are told the GRA said they've seized a consignment, this time at the Tema port, where the container was classified to contain household items, but it was found to contain the medicine. So the shipment was originating from the UAE, declared as containing water kettles, kitchen blenders, pressing irons, energy-saving bulbs, and polypropylene material. However, a joint re-examination conducted by customs officers and Central Revenue Monitoring Team uncovered a significant discrepancy. In addition to some of the undeclared items, officers discovered large quantities of concealed undeclared tramadol tablets hidden within the container, and were told they weighed over 34,000 kilograms, almost 35,000 kilograms weight of tramadol. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm not sure whether to be happy or sad that actually these days we are catching the people, or it's almost like the pattern continues. Too many people are trying to rob the state. The other one that I really wanted you team to talk about is a story Juliana Odami Asare put out this morning. 16 people feared dead in ambulance Ford collision at Pottery Chrome. Now look, some countries are at war, right? When a missile hits another part of a country and even 4 people die, it's a front page on the BBC or on the Reuters or Al Jazeera, right? Like yesterday, I think 8 people were killed in some strike, and it was a front page news. Yep. So in Ghana, a devastating road accident at Pottery Chrome in Afano Southeast has left 16 people dead.
Yeah.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 dead.
One too many.
We haven't added injured in terms of life-threatening, maimed. Then those who are also traumatized. How did the crash occur? This was between an ambulance registration number GV52723, so that's like a government ambulance, and a Ford Transit bus GT657619 It occurred as the two vehicles traveling at high speed approached each other from opposite directions. The Ford Transit bus was traveling from Kumasi to Bichim. The ambulance belonging to St. Mary's Catholic Hospital, Drobo, attempting to overtake another vehicle, could not complete the maneuver, collided into the Ford. Several passengers aboard the bus feared to have died instantly from the impact of the crash. Officers from the MTTD at Mankraso conveyed the victims to mortuaries in Mankraso and Edujama. Ashanti Regional Minister Frank Amwakwene posted on Facebook, quote, "I have received briefing about the tragic accident that has claimed the life of 16 innocent souls at Potrikrum in Afano South East. My deepest condolence to their families. May their souls rest in peace."
Bravo.
We haven't finished dealing with this one. Then we are told that last night at Cape Coast, a collision occurred involving a vehicle and another vehicle. And the figures we are hearing are very high, but I want to confirm the deaths before I put it out. But Fred will give me the details of that shortly. But we are told that it's also a serious number of people, at least injured. Close to 30 people were sent to the hospital in the Cape Coast area yesterday. Then this morning, where am I? Okay, yeah, here's the story now. 11 people injured. So this is the story now. 11 people injured in Kali Cape Coast Takrady road crash. A vehicular crash at Eduaje on the Cape Coast Takrady highway last left 11 people injured. According to a statement issued by the Central Regional Fire Officer, an Opel Astra registration number WR486013 driving towards Commander from Cape Coast collided head-on with a Nissan minibus with registration number CR141423 traveling from Takrady towards Cape Coast around 7:30 p.m. Passengers consisting of 8 males and 2 females were on board the Nissan minibus, rescued by passers-by and conveyed to the Elmina Polyclinic. 5 personnel at the scene performed a meticulous task to extricate the driver of the Astra, who was trapped in the vehicle following the crash. He was also conveyed to the Elmina Polyclinic by National Ambulance Service. The rescue team cleared debris from the road to restore the free flow of traffic and ensure safety. Officials say the cause of the accident is yet to be ascertained through investigations. And I'm not done. Kasua man in his 20s dies in vehicular crash. A yet to be identified young man, pedestrian believed to be in his late 20s, lost his life in a tragic crash. The deceased was attempting to cross the highway at the edge of the Kasua flyover around 9 p.m. last night. 9:30 p.m. last night. Knocked down by a Benz saloon vehicle, registration number GT7680X. A speeding tipper truck, which followed, also ran onto the pedestrian, causing his instant death. Eyewitnesses have attributed the crash to jaywalking on the part of the pedestrian. Remains of the deceased were subsequently conveyed to the morgue by police. Now, yesterday, a number of listeners sent me a story from the UK about a hit-and-run musician who had been jailed for knocking down somebody and not stopping. And apparently, cameras in the United Kingdom captured this. I'm looking for the story. I think if you can read it for me.
Yeah, so it's loading very shortly and I got it. So award-winning rapper Gets has been jailed for 12 years for killing a student in a hit-and-run collision in northeast London. The 41-year-old, whose real name is Justin Clark Samuel, was sentenced at the Old Bailey after he previously admitted causing the death of 20-year-old Yubin Tamang by dangerous driving. Tamang, a university student from Nepal, died in hospital 2 days after being struck by Clark Samuel's car on Red Bridge Lane, East Ilford, on the evening of 18th October 2025. The court heard that Clark Samuel had been driving at more than 60 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone when his BMW M5 hit Tamang as he crossed the road. He failed to stop at the scene. Judge Mark Lucraft Casey also disqualified Clark Samuel from driving for 17 years. He said CCTV footage followed a quite appalling litany of incidents leading up to the fatal collision, which were simply shocking. And the footage has been attached to the story here. It goes on to say that, outlining the facts on Tuesday, prosecutor Philip McGee said Clark Samuel had been drinking alcohol on the evening of the crash. The rapper from Woodford Green in East London was said to be 1.5 times over the legal limit. The defendant initially said he had drunk 3 glasses of brandy with a meal at a restaurant. As he drove his BMW M5 at speed back towards his home in Woodford, he failed to stop at 6 traffic red lights. The court was told. He repeatedly veered off to the wrong side of the road, mounted the curb, and collided with a motorcycle and a Mercedes, causing damage. McGee said Tamang was crossing the road when he was struck by Clark Samuel's car. Mr. Tamang, quote, was catapulted into the air before crashing down on the roadway. He sustained catastrophic injuries, McGee said. In a statement, the student's family said, quote, "We speak today with hearts broken beyond repair. Our only child, a precious soul, has been taken from us far too soon. Justin Clark Samuel has stolen our son's future and ours with it. We can never forgive him for what he has done," unquote.
That's okay. So why am I contrasting these two stories? So one student has died, and when did this occur? Probably like a year ago. I don't know when the accident occurred in the story.
It happened in 2025.
Good. So a year later.
18th October 2025.
So that's just 4 months. 4 months
Yeah.
later, the British Society has found the guy who killed the student.
Yeah.
They have described how it happened.
Yes.
What the guy did.
Yes.
And then they have jailed him.
Yes.
Because they value human life. This guy who was killed is not a British citizen. He's from Nepal.
Yes.
But the system they have created found out that this British man ran through 6 traffic lights, took some alcohol, and the system has jailed him for 12 years, and he's been prescribed for driving for 16 years.
17 years.
Okay, now here we are in Ghana. Just this morning, 16 people have died in some place called Potrikrum.
Yeah.
We may never even know their names
at all.
The driver of the ambulance who crashed into the Ford car, we may never know what led to the crash. So whoever is investigating it may not even reveal it to any serious institution of reckoning. It may never end up in court. 16 families will just cry and then be forgotten. Another gentleman was knocked down yesterday. They say it was jaywalking based on eyewitness accounts. He's not been named. We are told a speeding truck ran into him and killed him. We will just go on with our life. So when I say that we don't value human life, it's not because I'm trying to be holier than thou. It's just the truth. A society that values human life has put in place measures to ensure that a foreigner who was killed at night by a British citizen, at least he'll get some reprieve. He may even be compensated. We've just lost 17 people in a day. 16 in Ashanti region, 1 at Kaswa. It will not even register. Their names will never be known. Nothing will happen. We will just say, it's very sad. Now, if this is not a problem for us as a society, I don't know how we intend to develop as a country. Because every development puts human life at the center of every plan. So 16 people can die. I'm not sure there's even any serious reckoning around who they are, where they were going, what happened. Maybe Graphic will do a front page story tomorrow morning and say horror at Pochikro. And then that'll be it. Police, we don't know if the investigator will go to court with nothing. Those are just an unfortunate incident. They call it accident. End of story. We don't know if there'll be street lights put there, whether there were cameras, nothing. You know, I'm not sure if we really understand the seriousness of what has just happened. 16 human beings have died in the country. And by the way, road crashes are the leading cause of death in the country. I don't know whether it means we are going to investigate and say, well, 10% of the road crashes are because of poor visibility, therefore let's improve street lights. 25% is because of human error, so let's do retraining. 5% are because of a certain kind of car, so let's withdraw them from the market. 2% are because of, do you understand? Like, I'm not sure the society has even come to a point of saying, this is the reason why this is happening, and this is why what we should do to stop it. We've accepted that people will die on roads. So if you have money, take a plane to Kumasi. Don't drive. Yesterday I spoke to a friend. Said he's going to Kumasi. I said, how are you going? He said, I won't drive. I'll go by air. So if you can afford it, go by air. This is the society we built. And I feel like I'm not even sure I'm going to generate any emotion by this. Because people are like, oh, really? Is this the big story for the day? Charlie, let's bring on the next news item. I beg. This one is normal. It's sad. I think Ghanaians need to wake up to the tragedy of this thing. That road crashes have become so commonplace and human life has become so cheap that 16 people can die and it doesn't even register on the national radar. It's very sad, Kakra. Very, very, very sad.
I mean, I get your sentiment about it, but in fairness, the numbness that we're feeling or we're expressing around things like this as against other societies only show how disillusioned we've become, and perhaps maybe acceptance of a system, of a society that is not working. Okay, 16 people die, it's not a tragedy. No head rolls, nobody's held accountable. Even if inclusive of the person who had died, if they were jaywalking, something should be said. But it's almost the atmosphere is sort of banal, and we are just moving, we're just going, without any reflection. I dare say that we've sort of have become zombie-like. We are just going on about with our lives, going to work, coming home, sleeping. You can't necessarily blame the individuals too, because we've gotten used to nothing working. We've gotten used to zero accountability. We've gotten used to talk about it, cry about it, and life goes on. You see, there's no major action when tragedy happens that sets a certain mark in our minds and in our lives. That is sort of a reminder. So, for instance, if investigations were, quickly conducted and culprits or whoever was responsible was held accountable, that sort of shapes how we think about the usage of our roads. And so it informs the culture we generate. But because that doesn't happen, there's that absence, we are rather generating a culture of a certain laissez-faire. We are banal, we are ambivalent, we are just going on with life.
Sad.
It's unfortunate, but I go back to blame the political class that is governing. Okay, they often focus on the theatricals and not the actual governance,
and that matter
exactly, and that creates a certain disillusionment. The culture is that nothing is going to happen.
Example, you have a lot of anger around cocoa prices, revoked appointments, and things that are good for political capital, but something as systemic as death on our roads, which in some places, some MPs would start private members' bills. They would put pressure on the system to do some investigations. They will ask for some report to be released so that they have some legal changes on our roads. Because it doesn't result in votes.
Exactly.
And because it's not something that's a popular topic. Meanwhile, it's actually a critical issue because now it kills more people than malaria.
Yes.
You let me take a break.
It's not even now. It's been like that for a long time.
Let's take a break. I'll come back to this. I want to question our listeners this morning. Is your lack of response evidence of what Kakra is saying, that you become numb to these type of things? So when people die, it's normal. People will die every day. Or we need motivation to start something. Tech and social media trends is coming up next. It's brought to us by
Telecel.
Edwin Kwakofi is joining us with the segment. Edwin, welcome.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Good morning to everyone. So, Top of the trends, Ayawasu East and Baba Jamal. He has been elected as the Member of Parliament elect for the area. So very huge victory, a huge margin of victory in last night's race. And I think people are impressed with his speech after, talking about resetting the narrative around Ayawasu East and ensuring the people live better lives and changing the perceptions around the place. So very good win, very good speech. Obviously it brings,
I think it was 68%.
Yes, thereabouts. So it's again reinforces the global info analytics prediction about his results, ultimate result in the poll. So obviously, so a good way to end the Ayawasu East saga started off on an unfortunate note with the death of the MP Muhammad Nasir Toure, and then the allegations of votes buying in the NDC primaries and everything that's come since. But it's a good way to end this saga. So that's up in the trends. Also top of the trends, Nana Agrada. Yesterday she was finally released from prison, served only part of her initial 15-year sentence.
Go and sin no more.
Yes, so there were videos of her, pictures of her in church, praising God for letting her go. But the conversation around her release has been pretty interesting. Obviously, her fans, supporters are happy that she's been let out. But some people are expressing reservations because they feel that for somebody who was convicted of duping several people of money and doing all that she did, being let go when other people who have done
far lesser
exactly are being kept in prison, it doesn't seem fair.
Doesn't sit well.
So there's been a conversation about our justice system and how it treats people who are deemed to be not as high profile as others, and how certain people are giving preferential or allegedly giving preferential treatment by our justice system.
Let me add something that's even not related. So whilst we're discussing this knockdown, somebody just sent a message that 2 years ago a popular actor knocked and killed a young boy in Kumasi while driving at top speed to premiere his movie at KNUST. Few weeks later, he was at a popular church throwing monies about.
Yeah, we remember.
Meanwhile, in the UK, some musician has killed some foreign student and is going to jail. This guy who knocked down somebody,
he's still driving around.
Zero accountability.
So
even the first trend he read about Baba Jamal's victory, everybody seems to have glossed over the fact that there were vote buying allegations against him. We've not gotten to the end of that.
Then you add the Agrada one. So when you see,
these reflect
there's a pattern.
The problem in the society.
There's a
exactly.
There's a pattern there. Let's keep going.
Let's move from that. Some quick fire trends because there's a lot to get to on the show. Ibrahim Mahama trending because he purchased a new private jet. And what is interesting about this topic is that he was asked what his old jet would be used for.
And we should donate to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Ambulance. He said air ambulance.
But the work we do for here. Sky, the work you do, if they give you a new jet, wouldn't you like it?
No, it will be an unnecessary cost that you cannot manage.
I can't manage it.
Maintaining an aircraft is not an easy thing.
So it's an air ambulance.
Air ambulance.
To lift. So
for all Ghanaians. That's what
ambulance service ran it.
He didn't make that clear. But
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So he's donating
selling it or donating it.
He didn't make that clear. He said that it will be used as an air ambulance for all Ghanaians and not
private company,
not just for him. So,
but it would be good if you have an air ambulance. Why not? Or helicopters?
Yeah, to airlift Ghanaians.
I mean, it's good on one side. The other side to look at is whether we want to willy-nilly encourage the big shots to continue to abandon our shores in search of better.
No, but air ambulance is domestic.
Oh, that I don't think that.
No, ambulance. No. It's airlifting from
where?
From
Tamale to Accra.
Domestic.
Are you sure that's
maybe we'll give priority.
No, we need to clarify. So, because an ambulance operates within the country, right?
No, air ambulance can also be extraterritorial.
Oh, but the plane is not that big.
Sky, maybe internal priority.
It's a very sleek executive.
No, because Sky, you remember there will be people getting hurt in parts of the country and they have to be flown to Accra and stuff.
Yes.
Isn't that what an ambulance would do? Oh, you are thinking of abroad.
Yes, so that's what I'm thinking. I hope that.
No, we are thinking different.
I
thought it to be local air ambulance.
Well, his comments that will be for all Ghanaians. It suggests that
I don't think
it might
it will be a foreign air ambulance.
I imagine because remember.
What do you need? Hold on. International flights, by their very nature, if you want to send somebody abroad, usually there are enough foreign flights to send people out. Is the ambulance suggests domestic emergency, doesn't it?
No, but what I'm saying is let's open our minds beyond the borders of Ghana. First of all, the flight we're talking about until recently, I don't know what the state of affairs, has been what he's been using for major international travel. In some cases, moving our leaders about, right?
Domestic,
domestic, in a very limited sense. Because you don't put that kind of plane in the air just
from here to
from Kumasi. No, it doesn't work like that.
I get you.
So, and also we do know of the appetite for our big shots to want to leave the shores of Ghana consistently in search of, better, medical care.
So you are saying that you think this is a foreign international air ambulance suggestion?
I'm not confining myself to the Ghanaian space.
Okay.
I'm looking at the nature of the flight involved. I'm looking at what we have done consistently over the years and related matters. And I'm saying that I hope that we would encourage a lot more.
Then you are legislating already. But in some of his philanthropic gestures, they've flown people out of the country to seek medical attention.
But those are like
that comes in.
People who
yes, very much so.
Okay, so
which is very commendable.
Absolutely.
An update on the U.S. and Israel's conflict with Iran. So Spain, yes, Spain says they are not going to allow the U.S. to use their military bases, which first has annoyed Trump, and he says that he intends to cut all trade with Spain as a result. He's also said that he joined Israel to attack Iran because they were going to attack first after their negotiations fell through on the nuclear deal. So he said that they preempted an attack from Iran and they had to protect their people, and that he was dealing with lunatics and bad people. Those were his words. Yeah, those were his words.
I honestly believe that at this point, the president of the United States is not a perfect example for. He's completely out of order. He's in breach of international law.
He's been out of order for
now he's completely out of order.
I think that the U.S. Congress would have to rein him in.
Yeah.
The authorities in the U.S. must rein him in because he's a threat to global security at this point, together with the Israeli Prime Minister.
Why wouldn't you sue?
No, I mean, these are not.
Yeah.
You are here laughing. These are very serious matters. These are very serious matters. Life has
no, but I know you can sue. You must.
Economies are, suffering as a result of.
Yeah.
My lord,
you're laughing. I'm very serious. If it was within my capacity to see, you think I would.
Okay.
It's unacceptable. What is happening is completely unacceptable.
Yes.
Especially when you undermine negotiations currently ongoing.
No, we know all that.
Because
we're just asking what you would do.
No, what I would do is what I'm saying.
He's expressing his
I'm expressing my profound disgust. Mind you, I supported his candidacy.
When he's campaigning for him. You made us believe he is the light we be waiting for. Now he's completely out of
It's a horrible example of what the presidential conduct should be like. Anyway.
Okay, so a final trend before I get to tech news. The biggest shock of the season in terms of football. Wolves, the bottom side, beating the biggest shock of the Premier League season.
Stop putting a spin to the
it's the biggest shock of the season.
You also allow him.
The bottom side Wolves, who are almost relegated, beating the defending.
Didn't they draw with us now? Didn't they beat a team last week?
Mr. Avle, it doesn't suit you, so you are interrupting.
It's spinning the
Okay, so the bottom side Wolves beating the defending Premier League champions Liverpool like 2-1, one of the biggest shocks of the season so far. Okay, so finally some tech news, and Apple's iPhone 17e released to boost sales will be released on March 11. So it will go for $599, about $100 cheaper than the lowest price iPhone 17 brand that exists. So anyone who wants to buy it, prepare your $600 for March 11.
We'll repair our old machine.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash, and to the suppliers at my shop.
Hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly. My dear ones, we keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Live on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Looking for engineering excellence you can trust?
Welcome to Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence.
From expert electrical engineering, design, installation, power systems, renewable energy, automation and control,
to reliable data center and managed services, power infrastructure, network connectivity, server virtualization, cloud integration and data security,
and cutting-edge software development, custom business applications, web and mobile apps, cloud and DevOps solutions.
Integrity, safety, accountability, teamwork. That's the Left Signature promise.
Ready to power your success?
Choose Left Signature Limited. Visit www.leftsignature.com.
Call +233 256 111 743.
Left Signature Limited. Engineering excellence for a connected future.
I'm telling you, my brother has scored more goals than Asamoah Gyan.
What? This is impossible.
Check the stats.
What stats? We can't start. I have seen everything from 1986.
Funny thing about us Ghanaians, we'll argue for 3 days straight, but numbers always settle the matter. So instead of just telling you about better fuels, let's do the math. The new Shell Fuel Save lasts up to 15 kilometers longer per tank. The new Shell V-Power cleans 100% of your engine's critical parts.
Now that's better by far.
The next time you think of filling up, choose new and improved Shell Fuels.
The world is changing fast, and the leaders who thrive will shape what comes next. What matters now is the ability to think clearly, act with purpose, and lead in complexity. For more than 20 years, Ashesi University has shaped leaders who do exactly that, combining character with rigorous real-world problem-solving. Our MBA and Master's programs in Intelligent Computing Systems and Mechatronic Engineering are designed for professionals who want their work to matter and their leadership to last. Remember, graduate and undergraduate admissions are ongoing. Visit ashesi.edu.gh to learn more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 for the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
20 minutes past 8, City Breakfast Show. Osibisa with a song. But growth is not just about becoming bigger, it's about becoming better. At First Atlantic Bank, integrity has always guided us and our customers always come first. We stay agile in a changing world. Today, the commitment takes a bold new form. We are now a PLC listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. So First Atlantic Bank is now First Atlantic Bank PLC. It's more than a new status. It's a promise to lead with eye care, which is integrity, customer centricity, agility, resilience, and excellence. First Atlantic Bank PLC, refreshingly different.
Here's some good news for you if you're a shareholder of Societe Generale Ghana. Your dividends are now being paid directly to your bank accounts or mobile money. Dividend payments are no longer being made using dividend warrants. All shareholders are therefore respectfully required to update their records with the registrar NTHC Limited with the following information: your bank details, email address, and mobile phone numbers, including mobile phone numbers registered with mobile money. For Societe Generale Ghana shareholders with a Central Securities Depository account, contact your stockbroker and update your records with bank details, email address, and mobile phone numbers, including mobile phone numbers registered with Momo. Societe Generale Ghana is committed to providing you sound financial solutions. Always Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. Imagine waking up to serenity every day, surrounded by nature's beauty and luxury at your fingertips in a gated estate where you can be proud to call your home. Welcome to Western Villas. It's located at Ayi Mensa. Our stunning homes redefine elegance. At Western Villas, each home is a masterpiece, from swimming pool, gym, playground, beautiful landscape gardens, and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. Reserve Western Villas 3 or 4 bedroom luxury gated homes at Ayi Mensa with just 5% deposit between now until the end of this month, and get up to 2 free service plots today. We also have limited executive plots for sale at Katamanso and Chopoli at attractive prices. Call us now 0536 50 22 95. Visit westernvillas.com for more information. So people are winning big on 590 mobile. Here's how to do it. Dial star 959 hash and you're good to go. Now NLA has increased the playing time for your favorite 590 mobile from Monday to Saturday. Noon rush starts from 8:30 p.m. and closes at 1:25 p.m. the next day, while the evening draw starts at 1:30 p.m. and closes at exactly 7:55 p.m. Note, Sunday Asida remains the same, no time change. So catch all your favorite 590 mobile evening live draws from Monday special to Sunday Asida on GTV broadcast 8 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. This is not for persons below 18. 0308249477 is the number to call. 590 mobile at Darwin 7. Bernard, today is the birthday of Bernard Abekotre.
Is it?
In-house power grant.
Wow.
Yes.
Happy birthday to him.
Very, very happy birthday.
A great young man, from the Swedru Senior High School stock. Grew up in Winneba, a fantastic ambassador of the Central Region here on the Sports Deck of Citi FM. Happy birthday to you, Abeku. Well, there's a hot slogan in town. It's called Part to Part from GCB Bank. It's your chance to win mega gargantuan prizes. Let me finish. We are talking the ultimate all expenses paid trip to the Global Football Fiesta this year. We win monthly prizes like TV sets, fridges, cookers, and many more goodies. Join the winning team, deposit and maintain 300 cedis or more in your account and win big. From January to April, save and win with GCB Part to Part. Terms and conditions apply. Here's an announcement from the Office of the Registrar of Companies. All business owners, company directors, secretaries, partners of incorporated partnerships in Ghana, you are to file your annual returns or renew your business name and partnership by 30th April. This is a pretty serious announcement. So your annual returns must be filed with the ORC, and also renewing your business name and partnership by 30th April. This is to ensure transparency and facilitate regulatory compliance. Companies that fail to file their annual returns with financial statements shall be deemed non-compliant will be liable to pay a penalty of 2,000 cedis or 1,000 cedis, depending on the number of years you've defaulted. The directive is applicable to companies whose approved financial year ends on 31st December and does not extend to entities with different financial reporting periods. Now, business names that are not renewed shall lapse, and the registrar may remove them from the registrar of business names of a person whose registration has lapsed. Don't forget that the annual return must be filed within 18 months after incorporation and subsequently once every year, and must contain information such as the current company address, directors, shareholders, capital details, and accompanied by financial statements. Annual returns detail the status quo of a company by giving an indication of the financial and non-financial state of the company. If you want more information, call 059-952-5774 or follow us at ORC Ghana. Your car takes care of you every day. Now it's time to do same. Protect your car with a comprehensive motor insurance policy with SG Ghana Sound Drive and get a free fuel coupon as a reward. You can also get exciting branded souvenirs when you buy or renew your third-party policy or our new Smart Drive policy. This is until end of March. Call 0302-214-314 for more information, or walk into any of our SG branches to renew or buy your motor insurance policy. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. We've received a few comments on the issues around deaths on our roads. And let me just be clear. I am pointing the advocacy at many places. Parliament has a role to play. The Road Safety Authority and the DVLA has a role to play. Civil society has a role to play. Of course, the government as the executive has a role to play. Here are some reactions.
Citizens.
Of course. Here are some reactions to the issue. Bernard, don't mention my name. I'm convinced of the following. Most drivers, especially commercial vehicles, do not have a relationship with their side mirrors. That's one. Two, most drivers have hearing and vision problems. Two. Three, most drivers are not properly trained.
Yeah.
4, most drivers don't understand driving rules and can't read nor understand road signs. 5, we are simply indisciplined. Let me read another one. Bernard, the deaths on our roads are high because of 3 issues. 1, inertia and ineptitude of the average Ghanaian. 2, indiscipline on the part of all road users. And 3, irresponsible leadership of our political class. More comments. Tony in Accra says, good morning, Bernard and crew. We value the dead more than the living. Just see the energy and expense that goes into funerals. And then, good morning, team. At the time I was leaving Japan after graduating from my PhD in 2002, anyone who took the life of another person who was a breadwinner through reckless driving, among other punishments, the law prescribed the guilty party over a period paid the equivalent of $6 million to the family of the deceased. Here are more comments. Are we saying when you don't matter in Ghanaian society and the worst happens, you are treated differently? I don't know what this is related to. Please, where is Amaliba in all of this? Is the president giving updates often on his role? The police and cameras and visibility to what next? More comments. On this, road traffic accidents is now an epidemic and if a real public health emergency. This woman, 33 years old, battling for her life, we sent her to the theater last Sunday, an 8-hour survey. We are simply not angry now.
Yeah, it should be surgery. This particular comment came with a very, very disturbing image of a young woman, and I can't even describe it because it's too gory, and we're getting too used to. A doctor sent me this one. Good morning, Bernard. No, we are not Nambo. We have talked and nobody's listening. So we learn to survive. No accountability. Besides talking, writing and publishing, what else can I do? Well, keep doing what you do. It's part of the solution. Here are more comments, Caleb. Yeah. Good morning, Bernard. Have you traveled on the Cape Coast Takoradi Highway before? You will see signposts. 5 people died here, and you can see that that an uncountable. Okay, you can see that a number of times on the stretch. Stephen said that from Malam. Bernard, what about the pastor's son who knocked down some ladies at East Legon some time ago? Did the girls and their families ever get any justice? Today in my area, the new roads have become a race course for some people. They race with loud cars and motorbikes, and the police look on. God help us in this country. Winfred sent that from Community 23. Bernard, I was saying that.
Let me talk to a reporter on this. 16 people died in the Ashanti region. So Doris Lonta is our Ashanti regional correspondent, and she's joined us to give us more information on this very, very horrific car crash involving 2 vehicles. Doris, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Leonard.
Great. So when did this accident occur, or this collision? And we are told it was an ambulance and a Ford. Can you give us more details?
Yes, so this incident happened yesterday, according to reports, around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And the accident revolves around Drobo. The Ford Transit was transporting passengers from Kumasi to Drobo, and the ambulance was also transporting some patients from Drobo to Kumasi. And then, unfortunately, the collision happened around Potikrom in the Ahafano Southeast district of the Ashanti region. A report from the Mankanso Police, the district command, that the occupants of the Ford Transit were 15, and that of the ambulance were 5. And out of the number, we have 16 people who died and 5 survivors who have been rushed to various hospitals for treatment. And so this morning we are yet to find out from them whether the people who were sent to various hospitals are actually responding to treatment. But the death tolls are now stands at 16 per report from the police command.
Did they give any information about the nature of the road? Because the initial report suggested the ambulance was transporting somebody somewhere, and I think was speeding, and then in an overtaking collided head-on with the Ford. Is there any preliminary investigation around what could have caused this?
Yes, so per report from the Mankanso District Police Command, the ambulance did an overtaking, and which unfortunately resulted in this. But that stretch is the Kumasi Sinyane stretch, and then we understand that around that area the road has been worked on. Unfortunately, there are no speed ramps and other route signs there, and so the police command.
Okay, Doris, go ahead. Yes, we lost you briefly. You were saying the police command said what? We lost Doris. She's describing the situation that led to the accident. I'm not even sure if I should call it an accident. It's a collision, right? Yeah. And the police say their preliminary findings indicate there was an overtaking by the ambulance and collided head-on. 16 people in the Ford, 15 people in the Ford, and there are about 5 people in the ambulance, and 16 people have died. So which means about 4 people or so have been sent to the hospital. It must have been serious for all the people to die. Yeah. Like that. It must be such a horrible way to die. Yeah. Ghanaians, why, what can we do? I really want some solutions here. Let me finish with Doris. So Doris, sorry we lost you. You were saying that the police said that initial investigation shows that the ambulance was overtaking, and you're also talking about the fact that the road has been done. So it looks like it's a spot for speeding. Is that correct?
Yes, so the road has been worked on, and per the report from the police command, the ambulance was speeding, the Ford Transit was also speeding, and in an attempt to overtake the Ford Transit, this collision happened. But that stretch of the road, as I said earlier, has been worked on, and the commander was saying that they've been recording series of accidents on that stretch because the road is good and drivers have been overspeeding. And where the accident happened is actually in the middle of town, that is Potikrom. So it's not an outskirts, it's right in the middle of town. So concerns have come up that, when you're approaching towns, you're supposed to slow down and all that. And so the Ford Transit is at fault, and that for ambulance we know that because they transport patients and all that, mostly they are on top speed, and so the fault could have emerged from that of the Ford Transit. But the police said they are still investigating and they will come up with the real report what caused the accident. But for now, that is the information we are getting from the police command. And in fact, yesterday the commander I spoke with was really worried about the accident on that stretch, because he says since he was posted to that area every day, if not 2, but they record like 3 accidents, and mostly they are deadly. And so he was saying that there should be some sensitization, especially among the drivers, so that when they are approaching towns, they slow down and follow the road signs, so to avoid some of these incidents.
So you're saying that the road has become notorious for crashes. But did you say that this happened in the middle of the town?
Yes. So where the accident happened is actually in the middle of town, when shops were around. Fortunately, if there had been some veering off, I'm sure it would have even run into some other shop. But
so for a car to be speeding enough for 16 people to die on the spot, it means it must have been on very top speed in the middle of town. That's very serious.
Yes, so that's what the police commander actually said. He said when he got there, it was that bad, because the engine of the Ford Transit had even come out, and then it had fallen somewhere else.
The engine of the Ford was removed from the Ford itself.
Yes. Yes. So it was that. It was that bad.
Sorry, what time did the accident occur? Evening, morning, or night?
It happened in the afternoon.
Hot afternoon.
Yes.
Hey, this is serious.
It's that serious. And he's saying it's not the first time. They've been recording such incidents.
Did you know if the ambulance was carrying any patient? Was the ambulance using a siren? Was that said by anybody around?
Yes, so the commander actually mentioned that the ambulance was transporting a 1 month, 3 weeks old child from the St. Mary Hospital from Adrobo to the Confanoche Hospital. I think there was an issue and they had to transport the baby to the hospital. And so in the ambulance, they had the mother and the child, the driver, a nurse, and another relative in the ambulance. So in all, we have 5 people in the ambulance.
So the people who survived, were they from the ambulance or from the Ford?
So in the Ford Transit, we understand 2 people survived, and then in the ambulance 3 survived. So we have 5 survivors.
Do we know if the baby and the mother survived?
So the baby, according to the commander, died on the spot, but the mother is on admission at Ghanaian. Yes.
This is really tragic. Thank you for reporting. By the way, did the Ashanti Regional Minister move there? Because he posted on Facebook about this. Do you know if any officials have gone to the site to commiserate or anything like that?
For now, that has not been established, but the commander actually mentioned that he had given out a report to the regional minister, the Central Police Command, and other authorities who matter.
Doris, thank you for your work. I appreciate it. Doris Lonta is our Central Regional Correspondent, and it gets murkier, right? 15 people in the Ford, 2 survive. 5 people in the ambulance, 3 survive. Unfortunately, a 1 month baby dies, and mother survived. Let's hope she survives. The engine of the Ford was removed. This is in the afternoon, in the middle of town. I mean, that says a lot about what we've been talking about, right? Why would people be speeding in the middle of town? And also the ambulance, and oh my God. It's just difficult. I don't even know where to start from. I feel like the comments some people have sent around people and the way they drive is very important. The way, the issue of mirrors, speed limits, road signs, and then respect for ambulances. I mean, it's...
Yeah, so in this particular instance, there's the need for urgency on the part of the police, okay? Granted that they are doing their investigations, on the face of it or preliminary, there's something wrong we need to understand the role of this Ford vehicle in all of this. If a 1-month baby was being transported in the ambulance, obviously for emergency reasons, the police need to get in their custody the person driving this Ford vehicle. If he's still alive, to understand what's going on.
If the engine has removed and 2 people survive, usually those who are furthest from impact are those who survive. Yeah. And I don't even want to imagine.
But it shouldn't end there, because the vehicle is also owned, so there's some liability for the owners of that vehicle as well. But it's also I'm just saying that there are more questions, and somebody must be held accountable.
And even without the accountability part, the issue of retracing what happened so it can be a proper learning point.
Yes.
Get it? So in the UK case, they spoke about how the guy evaded 5 red lights and did all that. So I'm thinking, for example, is there a way we can trace how the Ford moved,
what happened,
where the ambulance moved from? You get it? So that, you see, the society will collectively learn from this.
Exactly.
16 people should not die, and then we just go on with life and not do anything with it. That's my issue. From the way the reporter is talking, the police seems to know a lot, because they've told the reporter a lot of things, which is why he was supposed to give me all this information. So that suggests the police are actually on top of it. Okay, so that's good. It's a good start, because she didn't say the police are tight-lipped, and she didn't say we didn't know what happened. She actually told us a lot, and said the police was even saying that every day about 3 accidents occur on the road because the road has been fixed, which brings me to another point. So if a road has been fixed, does that mean people should be speeding?
Reckless.
Why can't we start using speed cameras to also serve as a deterrent? Because the speeding thing is a key part of this issue.
It is.
You know, in the middle of a town, an accident that can take 16 lives means that they are running at least 100. You get it? And you're talking
for the engine of another vehicle to even
because I'm told that in town is 50.
Yes.
On highways is 80. On the motorway is 100 kilometers per hour. So if you are doing something that can lead to an engine of a Ford removing, it means we are going. I mean, how?
So remember, we read an article. I can't remember from who, but having the same road carnage conversation where we try to diagnose the problem, and the author aptly said that this problem with the carnage, commences from who we regulate or permit, who the law permits. So it starts from the DVLA, who you are allowing to drive what on the road, and then you come to the MTTD, how you are allowing. So the vehicle coming first will come from the DVLA, the person you're allowing to drive,
also
what's
DVLA.
the vehicle DVLA, and the police are supposed to regulate. They're supposed to police the road. So how you are driving and how you're maintaining the vehicle that you're driving. And then thereafter, when these things happen, they have to go to the courts.
I'm told the driver of the Ford died on the spot, but the ambulance driver is among the 3 survivors, the 5 survivors. So it means ambulance driver,
the
mother and then maybe 1 paramedic survive, and then 2 people in there.
It may be even difficult to interview some of them too.
I mean, an accident that takes people's life on the spot, we just should pray that even the people who are in the hospital survive. Because the trauma, and if they survive, the way they will even live after that
likely will be maimed.
I'm not sure there will be cameras in this area, right? But it will be good to also engage eyewitnesses.
What's the name of the town?
Potrichrome or something. Potrichrome, yes.
Doris, I'm still listening to you. Now, good morning, Bernard. I've been failed driving exams 2 times already. And so the guy told me, why don't I ask for help? Help is 700 cedis. Bernard, I'm just upgrading.
No surprise.
It means that most of the drivers sit at home and the driving license brought to them at home. What kind of drivers are we churning out? This is a listener sending this in.
Why don't you ask for help? You know, in the UK story we read that...
before you go to, I wanted you to go on Google and look for the town. I just wanted to get a sense of the area, because this is the Kumasi Sunyani Road. And then he says it's Drobo area. I'm still trying to understand how in the middle of a town, in the afternoon, a car can be speeding that much. Or whether if it's an ambulance, fine. So was the ambulance so at top speed that...
Well, you can understand from the report our colleague gives from the ground that there was an emergency case involving a 1 month. So you would expect ordinarily an ambulance to be speeding because they are trying to
So the other
deal with
question
an
is,
emergency.
This morning on my way to work, there was an ambulance about 5 cars behind me. It was honking. So this is what we did. We were at the red light. somewhere under the tunnel, East Legon. But because the ambulance was insistent, we had to move for it to come and pass because there was no space for it to pass. So we moved for it to go, and I was hoping, and there was a car behind it. I was hoping that whoever was in the ambulance would survive. I think there's something about ambulance etiquette that we all need to understand, that if somebody is in an ambulance, but the other challenge with car crisis is I see people abuse it. When not ambulances, so you'll be in traffic, then somebody in a black V8 will put his hazard on. You don't know whether it's an emergency or he just wants to get to work quickly. So some drivers also become very numb to this thing and
or annoyed.
Yeah, but you see, this is an ambulance and it's a GV ambulance. So for me, when an ambulance is coming, you have to give space.
Certainly,
but we also don't know whether the guy in the Ford was at fault. It could have just been that the ambulance was.
So that's why we need to hear from the police
be
because this involves an ambulance. We need to understand or establish where the fault is, whether it's from the Ford vehicle or the ambulance. But I think what you're saying about ambulances and also vehicles that show lights and play sounds to pave way to move is we cannot misdirect our annoyance or our anger, whether or not we because we don't even know if there's an emergency or there's a patient in desperate need of care in the vehicle. And you can't establish that. So what is important is once you see the ambulance, like you did, make way for the ambulance to pass. So avoid, because they're often coming at top speed. So to avoid this kind of impact we're seeing today.
The ambulance I saw this morning was private, but it was a labeled ambulance from, I think, one of the hospitals. And you could tell it was serious because there was another car behind it with a hazard. So we had to let it go. Here's a message that a listener sends. It says, Bernard, I'm listening to your program now. The reckless driving on our roads should be checked by the authorities in charge. Otherwise, our lives on the road are in danger. He goes on. The serious issue with Tema police these days is that they stop you as a motorist and immediately ask you for money to buy wachi. Oh, wow. True. What a shame for our police, especially the police women. Please, Bernard, air it for the public to know. This is a retired marine engineer sending me this. So is somebody who lives in Tema.
The question for me,
the police stop you and ask you for money to buy wachi.
The question for me is
wachi.
Why
the level of specificity is what is even shocking me.
So there's a certain failure on enforcement agents, the police, the DVLE. So the question is why is the police, who is supposed to ensure law and order on the road, not doing that and rather stopping you for money? Why is the DVLA officer explaining to you that you are failing because you are not opting for help, which is corruption essentially, which is pay money? Why are people entrusted to do their job so that we can have safety on the road? Why are they not doing that?
So what you're basically doing is you're pointing to the system failures. Last week we said that nothing tragic happens just because of one person's action. So there's a lot of different things that happens that accumulate. So somebody is taking a bribe for someone to get a driver's license. A policeman is not keeping his eye on the ball. So some road violation is allowed to go. It becomes normalized. Now, we are not even saying that the Ford is at fault because we don't know.
We don't know that.
All right. But here's a listener. He says, I'm very familiar with the town because I frequently use that road from Accra to Goso to visit my wife at least once a month. And your reporter is right. The place the crash happened is right in the middle of the town. This is really serious. Boss, regardless of what one perceives, every road user must make way at the sound of a siren.
Yes.
I do that. I mean, for me, even if I have to move to the curb, because see, I have had somebody in an ambulance before, so I know what it is like if an ambulance is moving and you are not giving it space. So for me, and the other thing I need to say is that when you are driving towards a traffic light, even if you have a right of way, you should slow down. Because what I notice is that when people have a right of way, they assume that it means that they will just go top speed. Maybe an ambulance is coming the other way because of an emergency. So I always say the responsible thing to do when you get close to a traffic light is to slow down. And those drivers who like honking at people who slow down because they are in a hurry, I don't know where they are in a hurry to go to. Sky, I was on
just village behavior.
I was coming to
villagers don't do that.
I was coming to work, and I was coming from Shiashi. Shiashi yesterday. Towards Fiesta Royale. When I'm at Shiashi, I could see clearly that the Fiesta Royale traffic light is red because from Shiashi you can see the red. some car is like a Honda Sky, just like Formula One. And you know the funny thing, I was telling the guys, I said, this guy, he will still go to the same traffic light and wait. This guy, the guy, I was going around 75 to 80. This guy passed us and went, boom, and then went to wait at the traffic light. And we all waited at the red.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, wait. And he was basically just passing through people. If there was a speed camera there, I have a friend who lives in the UK who was telling me that.
How did this person get a license?
He went to a new town. I'm coming. And that he didn't know that the speed limit in the town was 50 miles per hour and not 60 for some reason. And he said he had been caught by 3, I think he had 4, no, he said he had 4 traffic tickets.
Right.
Do you know what he said? After the 4 traffic tickets, they wrote to him, is it 4 or 6? I'm not sure. They wrote to him, and then he was fined, and then they sent him to court and asked him to stop driving for 6 months.
Deducted points.
There was no human being involved though. Apparently, he said he had 5 tickets consecutively or something.
Yeah, they deduct your points.
So they said he paid the fine, and then he was sent to court, and they took his license for 6 months. So you know he had to move to a new.
Yeah.
He had to move to a house close to where he works so he can get to work because he doesn't have to drive. So you see a society that functions. So he said he can't drive to work for 6 months or whatever. So he had to move to a new location because the system had taken his license and warned him. And this is because he went above a speed limit 5 times or so.
Mm-hmm. It's a danger to society.
So imagine if we had speed cameras on the road, which would then arrest recalcitrant drivers. Mm-hmm. Here are more comments. I'm asking listeners to tell us what we can do about this issue. Bernard, we should also look at the reckless driving perpetrated by officers in service attire. On the Ashaiman to Michelle Camp Road, the way the military officers in personal and military cars have normalized driving at top speed in the middle of that stretch. You take your eyes off the road for a second and an accident will happen. Now, fire officers, SEPS officials, and other service personnel in their private cars have also joined the fray. Normalizing driving in the middle of the road on that stretch, we need to address this. This is from a listener. But I'm listening to you right now and see what is in front of me. Imagine if there's a reckless driver on the road. So here's a video he sent me of a man in a helmet on a motorbike, a woman without a helmet, and a baby at the back are moving. And the motorbike number is given. What's the motorbike's number, sir? I don't want to mention it on it. But this is on Nigerian Kano Road. Now, if a reckless driver hits this motor rider, the woman is not in a helmet, the baby behind her is not in a helmet.
You see, and that is irresponsibility on our part as citizens. Okay, I don't think that it's right for the mother to take that decision. To sit, first of all, have a baby on her back and sit behind a motorbike. It's very dangerous. She exposes herself and the baby as well. And I don't think that the rider
should allow this without a helmet.
Assuming it is not even for commercial purposes. If there's a relationship between them, I don't think that the rider should have a pillion without a helmet.
And the baby is strapped at the back of the, but this is the other thing. If a policeman is asking you money for watching, how will he enforce? You see where society gets destroyed.
That's the point that I wanted to
So I feel like I've met police who will stop you and say, bro, this thing you are doing is dangerous, so don't do it again. They are, you understand? Like a police can.
Very few.
Some do it, but not many.
Few.
If like a policeman can say to this man, you've put a woman and a baby behind you.
That's dangerous.
You should not be doing this. You get it? But if they
But ironically, we see police officers on motorbikes without helmets.
So I'm saying that the society has come to a point of lawlessness. And who will bail the cat? It's just tragic. I have a lot more comments on this.
Let me just read this message that says, the silence of passengers when drivers drive recklessly contributes to the misbehavior of commercial drivers.
Okay.
So, guys, I think for some solutions, I feel like drastically, DVLA needs to really step up in terms of who can drive a car. All right. I suggest like some refresher course, or you can say, you know what, even if you have a vehicle you are driving, we are giving a 6-month window where we are doing retraining. Everybody should come back and go through it, provided they will not be corrupt to collect bribes. Because I feel like the way we drive is an issue generally.
The way we drive is an issue. You see, I asked the question how the gentleman got the gentleman you spoke about that he raised with you just to go and stop at the traffic light. There's a lot of ego driving, and Sky was saying that it's uncultured behavior to honk at somebody who is not driving at top speed or just because you're in a hurry. There's a lot of ego driving, that's one. There's a lot of lack of education about how to drive. When I'm driving these days, I take my time to observe. I even notice that for some vehicles and some motorbikes, when the traffic light changes, they're still stagnant. Not that they can't see, they are watching, but they seem to fail to appreciate what it means. And I remember years as a reporter doing a story and interviewing people who did not understand what red meant,
Serious? In Ghana?
Yes. As a reporter, I did a story and spoke to people, and I'm more
something as basic as this.
And I'm carelessly assuming that in 2026 we will all know that, but I don't think we all know that. We all do not understand the lines that we see on the roads, the lanes, what the inner lane is supposed to be for, what the middle lane is supposed to be for, and what the outer lane is supposed to be for.
The way people are qualified to drive includes a written exam. There are people who are not literate who drive. So the question I'm asking is there a separate test for them?
That question
I
is
just want to
not
understand that.
because that question is for the DVLA.
So like if somebody is illiterate and they can move a vehicle, can they pass the exam or they have a different test?
So, a lot of the so-called illiterates, without any disrespect to them, who were on the road previously, were converted when the new regime came into force. As to allow them, because driving is not so much a question of whether you can read or write, strictly speaking, but whether you can understand the signages and the culture of the road.
But some of the signage is written in words.
No, generally the sign.
Some of them are also pictorial.
Yeah, that's right. That's why it's pictorial. So that.
But are they tested? So
that's another matter. There are allegations that people make.
I'll
go on. Yeah.
I feel like we need to take our time here. The DVLA should be able to tell us that they have an examination regime for people who may not be literate, which includes just recognition of signs.
That's what I'm saying.
But have they said that?
I'm saying that I remember when the transition was coming in. I think it must have been during the time of Joseph Wusu, one of the people, when there was a lot of talk about what would happen to the old school.
What transition are you talking about?
The old school, the conversion from what used to be the ordinary
driver's license book
to
the card.
To the card. That whole transition, was a very topical matter. And there was a conversion of the existing drivers as of that time, many of whom were not, strictly speaking, literate, because it was a big matter. What were you going to do about people who didn't go to school?
Which means that there was a lot of fake licenses in the system when the old one was being used.
Exactly.
Because it wasn't biometric.
Yeah, it was so reported or was so claimed. And so there was a transition, right, which was to make sure that, okay, yes, these people have been on the road for a long time, in some cases 20, 30 years.
Were they retested?
The specific details I cannot immediately be in state.
Can you find out for me?
Oh, we can always find out.
And the second
of course,
question
there
is
are people at the DVLA.
Beyond the conversion, if somebody is 18 or 19, who is a mate for his master or is a mechanic and starts driving and is also not literate, will he get a license under the new regime?
Well, so the question is, the regime allows you to first of all attend school, properly so called. So there are driving schools who have been licensed, or garages licensed for that purpose, and after that they have to certify that, okay, you have gone through the course. You, by their estimation, you are qualified to be tested for the purpose, and then from that layer you go and you do your testing. And when you pass, you have to check your eyes and related, what they call medical conditions. And where you pass, then you are given a license.
That's the ideal situation on paper.
I have another question for
you.
I'm stating that.
Yes, but the reality is,
I have something else. So there are four of us here.
Correct,
there are four of us sitting here, right? All four of us are wearing spectacles.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that we have different genetic makeups. We are from different families. So we are not necessarily from the same parentage to say that we have a genetic eye problem. Are you not concerned that most trotro and taxi drivers don't wear glasses?
Well, Bernard, you know I've raised this matter ad nauseum about the fact that you drive around the city of Accra and beyond, and you find that, including the long journey vehicles, as we call them, you hardly ever see a driver on these commercial buses wearing.
Drive at night.
Yeah, that's right, using glasses. Now,
you know when I started wearing glasses? I had just finished Legon, and I was going to driving school, and I was going to get my driver's license. When I went to license office to do the eye test as part of the process, the guy said I need glasses.
Yeah.
So I got glasses because of driving. Because it says the way your eyes, you can't drive. I didn't know. Meanwhile, I used to do my university exam and I wrote and I passed.
Yeah.
so my question is that, and I was 21 or so, or 22. So my question is, the people who are driving all these vehicles,
so
they have such great eyesight.
So are they doing the test?
That's the question.
It's the
of course,
test. It's the test that you went to.
That
yes.
roped me into glasses.
Yeah. So you see the regime. You see the way the system. If it works normally, everything will be fine. If you go to the DVLA's office, for instance, you go to the cantonments one today. You want to renew your license. When you go there, you go through the processes. They'll refer you to a small clinic
to do eye test.
to do your eye test. Now, on your license, if you are required to use your glasses,
you'll put it on your
you put it there.
It's on mine.
Yeah,
it's on mine.
Small indicator. If you drive without,
so it means sometimes the police can catch me.
The police can catch you and properly prosecute you because you're exposing people to danger. Now, if you go into that small room, as to whether the officer is doing the test or not doing, it's an entirely different matter.
But this is the doctor. This is like an optometrist.
No, I'm saying because it's supposed to be replicated across the whole of the country. You understand? So the system as established is supposed to work true to form, right? So that all of us are happy. But we have heard stories of vehicles not making it to the testing centers,
and yet they are
getting report report certifying them to be on the road.
And individuals
who are not sitting the exams in some
but
cases.
They are passing.
So you see, this is where perhaps the use of biometric verification through the Ghana card would be an important tool to deal with matters like this. Because if you are not Kakra Forsen and you go and sit behind a computer that requires you to first of all swipe your Ghana card before your details come up for you to sit an exam, there's no way you are going to sit the exam if you are not the person supposed to be there. But the question is whether we are going to be bold and insist on these reforms.
Let's hear some comments from listeners contributing to the discussion.
So,
good morning, Bernard and team.
I just wanted to add something quickly, Bernard. Look, the last time I closed from here, I was going to do some due diligence somewhere in the East Airport area. When I got to the old Choice FM, then I noticed I noticed that there were these two guys. One was using a taxi. The other was driving what appeared to be an Uber, right? And then it's like sort of exchanging road rage. So they were exchanging
while they were driving.
While they were
driving.
Yeah, that's right. it was. But I've not told you the words. Flying, things, fingers all over the place and blah blah. And then when we got, I didn't initially think that it was that serious. So when we got to the Kawukuri Junction, then I noticed that the guy who was behind, he was a taxi driver. So he drove. You know what you see in the movies? He drove, used the body of his vehicle to push. It was like
the other car.
It was a black. It must have been a black Uber or some car, be like that.
Smash him on the side.
Charlie,
a taxi.
A taxi. I asked somebody who was with me in the car as of that time to record the numbers. In fact, I was trying to get in touch with the person so that person
to the police.
Push the car off the road. But somehow the guy too held it, sort of climbed the boulders, the median a little bit, exactly. And then before it maneuvered and got in, and then it was still insulting, and then he eventually turned. The guy who was behind, the taxi driver, turned towards where there's a restaurant there.
On the right,
just after the
NPA.
No, just after the Kawukuri Junction.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant, Tabita, something.
There used to be. That's where Decathlon used to be.
Exactly.
Then there's Tamara's.
Tamara's, exactly. And he turned there. But where I was going, and because of time, I couldn't. So I will get that number.
So they were fighting on.
They were fighting on the road, and it was like how you US people
other
chase,
users.
cars, and then you use your body.
Let's hear from listeners on this. Good morning, Bernard and team. The road through Poticrom is very good, so drivers speed a lot on it, even when they get to the town. I drive on that road every Tuesday and Thursday, and the speeding by drivers on that road is unparalleled. Some towns on that stretch have constructed unconventional speed ramps just to curb the over-enthusiastic speeding by drivers on that road. No name is attached to this one. Bernard, we should also look at the reckless driving. Okay, I've read this one already. Please, about the Accra Integrated Traffic Project. Whether cameras we spend millions on are working. The Accra Intelligent Traffic Management System cost over $236 million and was inconclusive. 2. Have you noticed the reckless driving of DV cars? It's almost as if they are doing a test drive. So this issue on 236, so Sky flag this one. $236 million on Accra Intelligent Traffic Management System. We don't know where this is going. I'm reading this on my personal phone before you come to the other one. Bernard, take the DVLA test book and go through the questions. It's serious English language. That I with a university degree in Po must keep failing. The way they designed the question is like literature questions. You go fail. The guy told me this exams they don't pass. This is the guy who was asked to pay 700 cedis.
So there's a way to pass.
And he's a university graduate. And he's saying that the English epidemic. So imagine how
there's a way to pass.
Charlie Pascal, corruption kills. So this is the issue. Corruption kills. And you see, it's like we've accepted it. But how do you tell somebody to pay 700 cedis to pass his driving license exam? Do you know how many people he will kill if he doesn't know how to drive well?
You see, I think the DVLA will need to learn some lessons from the folks at the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. Yeah. I am a licensed drone pilot, right? The requirement there, first of all, you do the academic one, which is done by UMAT, mines in
the written exam.
No, you do the mines one. What's the name? UMAT. They are in
Takwa.
Yeah, Takwa. When you finish that, of course, there are exams you set, and then you do the practicals too. You set an exam for the practicals too. That assessment. When you finish with that, then there are medicals that you have to do. If you are certified as qualified to be able to set the exams, then you go to the Civil Aviation Authority to set the exams, and it's a computerized exam, right? You set it. Nobody is going to be there to tell you that do it like this, do it like that, and then it is so rigorous that you cannot allow someone else to set the exam for you. And the exam room,
because your identity will be verified.
Exactly, and you have cameras, in the exam hall, to make sure that the person who says is coming to sit the exam is the person sitting the exam. So what I'm saying is that regime works because the aviation space is a very big area and people are supposed to behave responsibly. What I'm saying is that format, if indeed people are setting the exams for other people within the DVLA system, it will be a model that
more comments. Most people don't understand the road markings. 1, broken lines. 2, unbroken lines. 3, 10 arrows left, right, and U-turns. A lot of drivers make illegal U-turns, others switch lanes even whilst the lines are not broken. I'm reading more comments. Bernard, good morning to you and your team. The issue of the road is broader than we think. We must all get involved. DVLA, the police, drivers, and the public. The police stop cars only to take money from offenders and allow them to only repeat the same mistakes. The correction is not enforced. Rather, money is taken to allow the perpetrator of the crime to leave. It becomes a routine and is normalized. These are the results we are seeing today. Some enforcement by the police and the police itself might check for doing the right thing. It's very sad hearing the story. Condolences to those who have died. Here's a couple more. Bernard, good morning. Our roads have become our graves. It's not an overstatement to say that it is much safer to walk through the streets of Mogadishu than to drive in some of our road corridors in Ghana. The causes are many, ranging from poor road engineering and driver behavior to minimal enforcement and a culture of tolerance for speeding. During the focus group discussion, a female participant said, "Anytime I'm in a commercial vehicle and the driver is engaged in reckless driving, I try to alert the driver to be careful. The other day, one passenger told me that if he wanted a slow-moving vehicle, he would have gone with a tortoise. there must be an incentive for passengers to report drivers who are speeding. In some countries, accident black spots are redesigned in ways that make it difficult for drivers to speed. Again, we need to declare road crashes in Ghana a public health emergency. If you want to know how a country prioritizes road safety, look at how much is budgeted and how much is actually disbursed. The NRSA, and the MTTD are underfunded. This is Apia Kusi Adomako, CATS International. Please read more comments for me, Caleb.
So, good morning, Bernard and team. It's deeply sad to hear about the death of this baby who was seeking survival but unfortunately lost the battle. Our attitude on the roads these days is truly horrific. Many drivers do not respect road signs, and worse still, they fail to give way to ambulances during emergencies. Bernard, I used an ambulance yesterday to transport a patient from Kaswa, and the experience was frightening. I found myself praying just to reach our destination safely. It is alarming how some drivers behave recklessly without regard for their lives at stake. Sometimes I am equally surprised that passengers rarely question or caution drivers when they are misbehaving. Road safety is a shared responsibility, and we must all do better. Bright Blavo, send that from Ashoman Estate. Right. Good morning, Bernard. Morning. About this road traffic and discipline, another danger on our roads is those drivers who turn the bend in the wrong lane. On a number of occasions, I have come to a junction and met a driver turning in my lane, cutting across two lanes. I wonder why this is so. Vicky sent that. Bernard, how come Togo has enforced no helmet, no riding on motorbike, and we have not? We want to legalize Okada without enforcing the wearing of helmets? Ajete Babashaw sent that from Oyarefa Gravel Pit. Good morning, Bernard and team.
Morning.
How is it that the Togolese have found
Yes, another one from Senyo, and he says, good morning, team. Let's first send our condolences to the families of the bereaved. No one wants to say it, but we have a very bad driving culture on our highways. How people drive on our highways leaves no doubt that they will be involved in accidents. The day we start enforcing speed limits will be the day we curb accidents. But some police deployed to check speeding will rather use a defective speed gun and use it to extort money from drivers. They are the real murderers on our roads. But we are murdering innocent citizens every day on our roads. Let's just check speeding and enforce traffic regulations. I don't want to lose a loved one on a road like this. This is Senyo from Airport Residential. We'll take a short break. Sky will give us the last word.
Yeah, but
then we'll come into the on-air series for the morning.
Yeah,
our conversations on music continue. Frema Edunyame is joining us, and she will be speaking to Dr. Eric Sunudo, a continuation of the journey of hip life to Afrobeat.
Yes, Bernard, I just want to draw your attention to a story that was published some 2 weeks ago, and it made the international headlines, involving a father of a teen driver in deadly crash in Florida, who was sentenced to 37 years in prison. For what? Manslaughter. Now, the story is republished is curled by The Graphic, and let me just give you the first 2 paragraphs of the story, and to make a quick point. Now, a Florida man or father was sentenced to 37 years in prison for allowing his 15-year-old son to drive unsupervised, resulting in a crash that killed a grandmother and 3 children. Now, Richard Ferguson, 70, was sentenced on February 18, 2026 for the 2023 crash. According to court records, his attorneys asked the judge for leniency before sentencing, saying Ferguson has stage 4 prostate cancer and other related matters. Now, prosecutors argued the severity of the loss warranted a lengthy prison sentence. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of rich fathers in our country, or rich mothers in our country or in the city, seem to be allowing their kids, as Godfred recently said, to go about driving anyhow. We saw a recent one which resulted in some catastrophic losses in the East Legon area. People were outraged when eventually there was sentencing, and it would seem that people didn't like the outcome. The parents were not held accountable.
And the boys
exactly. I'm just using this particular story to make the point that don't think that merely because it is your son who has gone to do something, the long arm of the law may not reach you, especially where you allow your son or daughter to move out with your vehicle without supervision, and things like this result. We have got to be much more responsible as parents.
Finally, Bernard, let's start doing root cause analysis. Start from the beginning of the process of getting license and let's work our way up the chain. The workers at the DVLA who undermine the process by asking for money to pass learners should be dealt with very quickly. If not, the head of DVLA must resign. All these DVLA workers are aiding and abetting in any potential accidents that happens. They are accessories to crime.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
When you hit the road, anything can happen. Drive with motor insurance that's fast, reliable, and always there when it matters. Whether it is comprehensive motor insurance, third-party fire and theft, or third-party only, Provident Insurance will sort you out. Insure or renew from January to March and enjoy fuel coupons and exclusive branded souvenirs. Terms and conditions apply. Drive confident, drive protected. Visit any Provident Insurance branch nationwide, our agency outlets, or licensed brokers. You can also call 050-937-4928 for inquiries or visit providencegh.com for more information. Remember, Ghana card is required for individuals and TIN number for corporate clients and for all motor insurance transactions in line with NIC directives.
With Provident, plan your cover.
Feel the energy and reconnect with your roots this March at the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2026. Join us for a celebration of Ghanaian culture and cuisine from all across the country. Northern, Akan, and Southern villages will all be represented. It's more than just food. It's about culture, family, and memories that last a lifetime. Let's come together this March to discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 28th and 29th of March 2026. Venue is the 8 for Sutherland Children's Park. The time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day. Interested vendors can register by calling 0205-973-973. The Back to Your Village Food Festival is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
The Ghana Exim Bank is 10 years old. Hooray! And to commemorate this milestone, the Ghana Exim Bank is hosting a 2-day international conference on the theme, A Decade of Enabling Export Trade and Industrial Transformation, Resetting Gexim for the Next Frontier. The event takes place on the 25th to 26th of March at the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, 8 a.m. each day. President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will perform the official opening of the conference. Special guest and speaker, Honorable Elizabeth Ofosue-Jari, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Conference host is Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank. For inquiries, call 0208-541-480 or visit eximbankghana.com/conference to register. Media partners, Daily Graphic, Media General, The Multimedia Group, Citi FM, Radio Gold and Channel 1 TV. And knowledge partners include IFC and SME Finance Forum.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangerine. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
again, and welcome to the Sound of Our Identity. We are in the Heritage Month. We have been looking at various, music forms, what defines us as a people in terms of music. Today we are looking at hip life, and Afrobeat. I'm sure this one, the young people, the millennials, the Gen Zs would appreciate this much more. This looks like we are in your zone, but I'm sure in previous editions you have been studying, you have been learning, but now we are partying, because we are in your hood. So hip life and Afrobeat. And my guest today is going to be Dr. Eric Sunudo, who is Senior Lecturer, Music Department, University of Ghana. I'm Frema Edwin. Right after this break, we'll have the conversation on
Ago.
You welcome back. This is the Sound of Our Identity, and my guest is just so ready, Dr. Eric Sunudo. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you.
The last time we had a conversation, it was on high life, and we learned so much about high life. And my takeaway, from that episode was the fact that, in fact, we are not really doing high life today. The high life that we think we are doing, no. That is not the highlight.
Different kind of highlight.
So we are doing different types of highlight, but it's okay. We'll pardon you for creativity's sake, So the base is there, but you are adding other things to it. So if you think or if you tell yourself that I am the high life artist, maybe you are, 60% high life and 40% something else. So we can pardon you. But today we are looking at hip life, the rise of hip life and youth culture. And then we'll move into Afrobeat, because today we have so many, so people say they are doing Afrofusion, they are doing Afro this, Afro that, and all that. But we can start from hip life. Hip life we all understand, we all know, but throw more light on that for us. And also don't forget the debate on who brought hip life.
Yeah.
The Reggie Rockstone, the Ambule, all that stuff. So let's talk hip life.
I'm sure everybody would know that hip life started in the 90s, probably mid to late 90s.
Yes.
And it's been attributed to Reggie Rockstone. The Ambule debate is an afterthought. He was doing something like that, but Ambule has always been a funk musician.
Exactly. He even described his music as
funky life.
Funk life, silly Bado.
Exactly.
He never called it hip life.
But he had some elements of rap in there. Yeah. Probably that is where the debate is coming.
Yes.
But let's take it as Reggie Rockstone is that catalyst for what has been known as hip life. Right. Started from the mid, probably gained traction in the late 90s.
Yeah.
When he released the album.
The Way to See a Plan there. And
yeah. But he was not the only one then. We often don't talk about Nana King.
Yeah.
King and Nana Queen. I was reading Christian Adolfo's book on Afrobeat whilst I was preparing, and he seemed to have neglected the Nana Queen aspect of it, attributing the first female probably to what's her name?
Is it Abriwana?
No, the 16-year-old
Miss Bell.
Yeah. And I found that to be interesting because there was Nana Queen who was playing critical feminine.
Mommy.
Exactly. Right. So those were the people who started it off. But then we could circle it back to the conversation of what high life was. And it's that same understanding of
hip life
to hip life.
Okay, right.
That it's not something that they said they were going to do. It is something that came out of a social experiment. Again, that idea of popular culture and popular music as borrowing from the West, right? There was a high life base and there was a hip hop base.
Yeah.
So we borrowed the hip hop. You could think of it in what we in academia call local interaction.
Then
take Coca-Cola for instance, and the Coca-Cola you taste in Ghana is different from what you taste elsewhere. Right? So we found a way of localizing it.
Fever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the music. So how do we indigenize rap or hip hop? We have high life, and then we have the.
So is it just about the language? Because when you look at what Reggie brought, it wasn't any different from what the Americans were doing. And he also, because of that influence, stayed out for so long, he came in and it looked like the only difference was the language. So there was something missing that we didn't pay attention to.
So if we are speaking about how high life began, you would have seen that what we call high life at the point of intimacy is not how it started.
Okay, yes, you're right.
But of course, it was something, that is why they call it a movement. It was something that was building up. We were trying to integrate the rap culture, the hip hop culture, into high life, which was our popular culture. It came with so many other things. Fashion, graffiti, as was being done in the Americas. But then ours was to us. How do we cartoon, for instance? How do we do graffiti? So it was speaking to our context, right? Even when he would rap in the tree, the way he was rapping was not how we would speak.
No.
Exactly. There was some fastness to it.
Yeah.
Let's think of Boga High Life too. And it was that same ideology. So there is high life as a base. And then they met disco, they met funk, they met reggae, and they brought it together. So that was what was happening to hip life in the late 1990s. So the first record, you hear a lot of hip hop derived beat.
Yeah.
And it was also because that person who created that beat was an American. Right. So of course it brings his sensitivity to it.
Yeah.
So that is hip life and how it started.
How has it evolved? Did Afrobeat come from hip life, or Afrobeat is a complete genre that we've created?
The Afrobeat conversation is now bringing everything we do in Africa under one beat. So all this is African music. That is Afro.
Yeah.
In a beat. But there was already the Afrobeat without the S.
Okay.
That was championed by Sela.
Okay.
And it has specific identity, like elements that you can identify. For instance, the rhythm, the moan, the length of the song.
Exactly.
And how the improvisation.
This music is quite lengthy.
Exactly. But the Afrobeats we hear can be thought of in the context of high life, in the sense that there are several styles being thrown in. So somebody would say, I'm doing soul, Afro soul. It's an Afrobeat song.
Right.
So we can't speak in that terms, because then the Afrobeat putting a lot of songs together. But hip life was specific. Bring high life, bring hip hop. How do we find that feeling?
So does that mean that any song that we are not too sure where it belongs to is Afrobeat?
So
it's not high life,
Yes.
It's not hip life.
Yes.
That is music. It's nice.
Yeah.
So Afrobeat?
It could be. When you say any music, then it's a bit too vague.
Okay.
I mean, somebody can do Adoa, Mami Ode, and all those people. We can't call them as Afrobeat.
Yeah.
But if you want to stretch the argument, we could say that. But what I'm...
Yes, even the Mami Odes, you can put them under the Nyom kind of people, right?
Exactly. But then there's also some kind of transformation that has gone on.
Yeah.
There. I was going to talk about the Afrobeat in relation to the Afros of the late 60s up until the 80s.
Okay.
So there was Afro rock, where Osibisa comes in.
Okay.
There was Afro jazz, where Ganaba comes in. There's Afro soul, which was largely in Nigeria. And out of Afro soul came the Afro beat without the S.
Okay.
So you see a whole lot of things going on. That is how come you listen to Tiwa. That is soul.
Yeah.
R&B is. We can't still classify it as Afrobeat. But again, then we could think of how do we sell all these sounds?
Yeah.
Because High Life didn't cut it.
No.
It probably went to UK and that was it. But Afro beats.
Yeah.
My nephews who were born in America can identify with it.
Yeah.
Because of the internet. Wofa, who has left Ghana to the UK, is jamming. Oh, this song is nice.
Yeah.
So all these things are clear. Something we can identify as Africans, not specific regions. I think that is how I see the Afrobeat. Not specific style, Because when you look at Burna Boy and you listen to some of the songs he does, it is Afrobeat without the S.
Right. So let's get the difference properly.
Right.
What is Afrobeat without S and what is Afrobeat?
So let's start from the Afrobeat. The Afrobeat is so many things put together.
Okay.
Listen to Efia sounds so much like the Beyoncés, the Braxtons.
Yeah.
But from an African context. Listen to Kenata.
Yeah.
He's doing rap and what have you.
Yeah.
If we listen to Akwabwa, a bit of Korean-ish, R&B,
yeah.
Spoiling the language,
yeah.
But you can classify it as, Afrobeat. But then the Afrobeat without the S was specific. A specific kind of rhythm that when it is played, this is Afrobeat. Yeah. And there are specific elements in there. Quite predominant is the horns. Lengthy instrumentation. Somebody we would say built Afrobeat from where Fela did his Ebotela, who resigned.
God bless his soul.
Exactly. So you listen to his Bonzi Kumkuma album and you get that Afrobeat feel in there. It is different from you can name about 10 current musicians who call themselves Afrobeat and you see that they do different styles.
Right. But it looks like the hip life and Afrobeats has done well for Ghana music or Ghanaian music in terms of global exports. Now, the international community appreciates our music better. And so now you find people like Citi going to, the Asians to do music. Sometimes you ask yourself, why are they going there? But they go and they are selling out.
Well, sometimes we also discount social changes that is happening. Right. Think of the 1960s and how many people from Ghana were overseas.
Sure.
And think of the people who went in the 60s and how successive Ghanaians have gone overseas, raised families, some of them who are yet to come home. That longing for home would make them look for what is Ghana. First, the producer would have to send the music on CD to Ghana supermarkets overseas.
Yeah.
Today it's a bit easier because it is in our palms.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is easier for us to reach the music as compared to them. So we could say that yes, it is easier now, but we cannot discount that it started from somewhere.
Right.
So that is how come it is easier and we are saying they are going all over the world. First, you would have to think of Fela's Egypt 8.
Right.
A band of about 20 or so people. And you have to go on tour.
Yeah.
That is so much money.
Exactly.
But King Promise will go alone. Probably with a DJ, some management.
Yeah.
And then the budget is quite okay. So all these factors come to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course the younger ones who we would call the diasporan Ghanaians are also making friends with people in the diaspora. For instance, we have a Ghanaian at BBC. You would want to bring some of, DJ Edu always on BBC would bring a Ghanaian record on the global reach. And the Nigerians too are everywhere.
Yeah.
So so we cannot discount how the various changes, has played in why this is a bit popular than the others.
Right. So this is the sound of our identity. Interesting conversation. Doc is still here. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we are looking at the music economy, the digital platforms and how now we understand the music business better than before. This is the sound of our identity. We'll be right back.
Ago.
You're welcome back to the sound of our identity. Dr. Eric Sinodo is still here. Now, let's look at the music economy. I mean, it appears that young people today understand, the business aspect of their craft. people go to school. When you get to a School of Performing Arts, when you get to your department, you realize that we have a lot of people learning music. I did music in level 100, so are we on the right path? So now people demand contracts. People demand, my quota. Let's discuss the business aspect of it. Where is this leading us to?
I think it is leading us to a very promising music industry. It takes from the longest conversation we've had and the experiences our forefathers have had with the music business. We've come to see people who were once popular, but today are struggling.
Yeah.
So that kind of conversation started probably over a decade or so ago. So that education, consistent conversation about the music industry, what you should look out for, is also playing a role to where we find ourselves now. But then a large chunk of musicians come thinking first of the money, not of the career. And I have had a lot of such students in the department. I ran the pop ensemble. When Kudu Dems of Inchinchim fame were there, it was the High Life ensemble. An idea
is that different from the pop band?
It was a pop band
of old. And when we were there, it was pop band, and we used to follow.
Markfish.
Yes, and what's Ibo Taylor? Around. Ibo Taylor has used that, so
It was referred to as a pop band, but I thought, our popular music was High Life, and to bring some form of branding and focus the pedagogy on High Life music, I made it a High Life ensemble. And that is how we experimented with some of these things. So as part of the training, I would tell them that you should be thinking of building, or I used to say paying your dues, understanding yourself as a musician, understanding the music industry, understanding that you're starting from somewhere.
Right.
And you need an ecosystem, So the Adaha is coming from that branch, and Chinchim is coming from that branch, Pampa is also coming from, and then it is growing like that. So a lot of them come wanting to be like what they have seen,
and
but not prepared to work.
Those who have gone through the system, those who have understood it properly, you can tell what they do.
Yes.
It's different.
Yes. I have students, young musicians, I should say, who come into the School of Performing Arts, wanting to better their craft, but are not willing to put in the work. And that is the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of the musicians just want the fame.
Exactly.
A lot of them, about 60-70% of them.
When they get the fame later, they realize that they need money to go with it. They need to understand the details. Exactly,
yeah.
So when they get the fame, they're now thinking about money. They're now thinking about they signed the wrong contracts and all that.
Yes. So a lot of them don't plan their careers. They don't sit down to say, this is where I am at. This is where I see myself in the next 5 years. And these are the things I'm going to do. For instance, who do I need to help me? When I started the Palm Wine Band, we didn't know anyone. The members in the band themselves, they didn't know what we were doing. So I would do the research. I would give it to them, learn, let's go. Then it got to the point where we wanted to perform. And I was wondering, how do I get ourselves out there? I chanced on an answer, and I walked to him, I'm like, we can play for you whilst you do your poem. And that is how we started. So we tapped in his audience.
Okay.
And then it grew from there. Not everybody is willing to.
Anyone Heritage Caravan?
Yes, they were
a couple of years ago, right?
Yes. It was the same with the Inchinchim when they started.
Yeah.
So then I would consult for them, and I'll tell them that they need to build that kind of ecosystem. So the Inchinchim we see today, they've been through a whole lot, 10 years.
Exactly.
So they've built themselves up, and they are ready. Not everybody is willing to invest that kind of time in their craft. It's make the money, let's go.
Let's look at the digital platforms today. It's really helping,
It is one
sending
of
money out. Yeah.
It is one of the things that has come to cut away the producers who cheat musicians.
Exactly. But do the musicians today understand the relevance of the digital platforms, and are they making good use of it?
I think it is still early for us. Again, a lot of us don't understand the music industry in the sense that if there is a budget for a project, it is only 20% that should go into the creative aspect and 80% should go into the marketing of the But we spend our 80% in the creative.
Exactly.
And then
music videos and all that.
And then 20% to push the music doesn't go. So we are still learning.
Okay.
But what has helped with the DSPs is that now I can record a song and then let it go. The challenge that we are facing now is how do I market it?
Right.
And that is how this ecosystem thing comes about. Like we're talking about, we need to rely on each other. But we don't do that. You know, you're a big artist. I invite you to my show and you say you take me money. Meanwhile, you would also have a show, you'd invite me. So why not I come do for you? That kind of ecosystem, we still don't have it. We also don't have our musicians touring our country.
They don't have the budgets, do they?
But you don't need a budget to tour your country.
Okay.
That is one thing. When I was in school in Durban, I saw their music industry as not too much sophisticated in the sense that whilst we were here, we want a small setup. We want all the gadgets in the world. But they could come, 3 people, and then have a good musical experience, devoid of all those gadgets. It is the music they are thinking of. They are building themselves. But our musicians would want to carry all the latest gadgets around.
With manager.
Think of when our forefathers or our grandfathers and fathers were going on trek.
And to think that most of these songs from old are the ones we are still enjoying today.
Exactly. It was because it was sent to the people to experience. That is one aspect. Of course, the composition and what they were writing about. Again, these days, everything is fast. You know, so you want to go in and then go out. There are people who brag about, I just go into the studio, 10 minutes, I'm done with my
I know, right? And I'm like, and you're talking about this?
Exactly. You don't pay. You are sending something out that would last the next 100 years, and you are thinking that you just went in there and did it. I won't buy your music.
So today we have disposable hits. You know,
I agree.
The song comes today, everybody is dancing to it. In the next 3 months, we are looking for the song and the artist.
Exactly.
And they all vanish into
Exactly. Wow. But that was what they were taking their time in writing the song. How do I say this in public? The same thing. Right. How would I express it in different contexts?
So now, how should the young musician position himself, you know, in coming in terms of the rhythm, in terms of lyrics? You know, you write him as now, people don't even pay attention to our language, you know, and all that. When you listen to the Daddy Lumbers, the Nane Champons, the Kwadra Kwabwas, when you listen to, you can tell how ornamental the language is. And so sometimes they're saying something when children are around, they don't even understand. But it looks like our young people today are singing in a certain language that they themselves do not understand. But they are singing it. How do they position themselves in wrapping up?
I think it has a lot to do with who you want to be known as a musician.
Right.
And a lot of the musicians do not think 10 years, do not think 20 years. They think of them now. But if they start putting a certain longer projection to their careers, some of these things will come to play. It is not everybody who is a songwriter.
True.
I think the musicians should come up to that realization that not everybody is a songwriter.
They should be honest to themselves.
Exactly. So find someone who can write for you, split whatever comes. You know, that is the other thing. And then look for producers who understand your vision.
Right. We will look for producers who understand our vision. Doc, we'll have to end here. But this has been very, very educative and insightful. Now we understand, you know, and if you're a young person thinking of going into music, you know what to do. And we also know where hip life, you know, evolved from and what we call Afrobeats and what we called Afrobeats. Know where you stand so you don't embarrass yourself, you know, when you step out there. Doc, thank you very, very much. Now, we feel like we are in your class. All right, people, so it's been great coming your way. I've been talking to Dr. Eric Sunodo of the, he is a senior lecturer at the Music Department, University of Ghana. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the sound of our identity. I'm Frima Edinyami. See you again.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Kuma has always dreamt of commanding his own military forces.
Attention! Eyes right, stand at ease.
Because that dream is still a vision in progress, he spends his time commanding his money with the EcoBank mobile app.
Operation Supplier Payment. Dispatch 1,000 units of currency from Accra to Benin. Move! Move!
Sometimes he wants a little extra control so that he can buy only what he needs.
Command Center mobile app. Activate virtual card protocol and initiate payments for sneakers and t-shirts. Abort mission for leather coat payment.
Even when the general is fast asleep, his standing order marches out to sort his bills. With the EcoBank mobile app, you can command your money to make safe transactions in Ghana and across 33 African countries. Download the EcoBank mobile app on the Play or App Store today.
By the left, about turn.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Improve your gum and oral health with the new Nesta mouthwash from Ernest Chemists Limited. Nesta mouthwash comes in original and fresh mint for the treatment of bleeding or irritated gums, mouth ulcers, maintenance of oral hygiene, prevention of bad breath and plaque. Nesta mouthwash, great oral hygiene, long-lasting freshness. Available in pharmacies nationwide. Manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited.
Ramadan Kareem, a season of peace, blessings, and giving. Electroland Ghana Limited is bringing blessings into your home with special value deals on Samsung, TCL, Media, and NASCO. NASCO TVs from just $699, bottom fridge freezer from $1999, chest freezer from $1999, Samsung 6kg twin tab washing machine for 2,999 Ghana cedis, Samsung microwaves from 1,799 Ghana cedis, TCL 43 inches for 2,999 Ghana cedis, TCL water dispenser for 1,599 Ghana cedis, TCL front load inverter for 5,999 Ghana cedis, Media air cooler for 1,499 Ghana cedis, air fryer, juicer, stand mixer, and blender at all special Ramadan prices. Visit EGL showrooms and authorized dealers nationwide. Call us on 0503-159739 and on our website at www.electrolandgh.com. Electroland Ghana, bringing Ramadan value home.
In the heart of Africa, where the warmth of our people meets the beauty of our land, there's a pride that soars high. Welcome to South African Airways. At SAA, we're more than an airline. From the golden sands of Cape Town to the thundering Victoria Falls, from the turquoise waters of Mauritius to the pristine beaches of Perth, let South African Airways take you on a journey you'll never forget. As a proud member of the Star Alliance, the world's largest premier airline network, SAA is dedicated to delivering unparalleled passenger services of the highest standard. South African Airways, proudly South African, where every journey begins with Sawubona. We see you.
When factories rise, we protect them. When businesses grow, we guard their future. When families invest in what matters most, we secure their dreams. For over 60 years, SIC Insurance has been Ghana's shield, built on integrity, reliability, and care. From motor to fire, accidents to travel, marine, and more. Whatever you value, insure it with confidence. Insure it with care. Insure it with SIC Insurance. Because at the heart of every policy is a sacred promise to care, to deliver, to be there when it matters most. Call 0800 100 055 or talk to a broker or licensed agent today. SIC Insurance. Our promises are sacred. Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 for the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So if you're looking for motor insurance that goes the extra mile, Hollard Insurance has something special for you this 2026. Insure your car with Hollard and enjoy extra rewards. New customers get to drive away with free fuel vouchers when they sign up, and existing customers will get exclusive gifts when they renew. We have 24/7 free roadside assistance for you, so you're never stuck on the road. That's value for you. 0800 444 999. Call this number now. Visit any of our offices or speak to your broker today. Hollard Insurance, we've got you covered. And when the world gathers for greatness, one name leads the way. Litina Travel is taking us to the World Cup in America, Canada, and Mexico. Everything you need to make your stay comfortable, Litina is providing. And then we're also providing you access to networking, business networking across all three host nations. So 0244 260 789 is the number to call. Find Litina at Alisa Hotel North Ridge. Secure your spot for this once-in-a-lifetime journey. Now, did you know that when you go to shop, you could be earning some points? When you use your Momo, you could be earning some points. How cool does it get? It's only possible with Points Africa. It's determined to make Ghanaian purchasers accumulate points with a system for every purchase. So where can you shop and make these points, accumulate these points, and how does it work? How can you use them? Andrew Barnett is the CEO of Points Africa, and he joins us in the studio to throw some more lights on what Points Africa is doing. So Points Africa, Andrew, you're welcome.
Morning.
You launched in Ghana last November.
Yes.
Oh, good. How's the reception been, and what problem in particular are you trying to solve?
The reception has been fantastic. Points Africa is really about rewarding everyday Ghanaians that shop across our rewards network and extend their purchase power. So essentially, like you just said, you can shop with some of our key partners like Star Oil, Jumia, Glyco, soon launching with Melcom.
Right.
You can also go to some of our lifestyle partners as well, like Starbites, Jamestown Coffee. So you can actually then pay with your Momo and one of our banking partners that will soon be announced, and you can then earn those points. Once you pool those points together shopping, you can then redeem those points anywhere across our network for free things like MTN data or airtime, free gas at Star Oil, free groceries at Melcom. So that's how it works. We extend the purchase power of everyday Ghanaians.
Wow. So how does this work? Is this an app I have to download or something? Is there a voucher, a card?
Yeah, so it's all digital. So that's the world we live in right now. So you go onto either your Google Play Store or your Apple Store, download the app, Points Africa, register for free, and then earn your points across our network for free with, again, key brands that you know every day.
So I was sent on errands this weekend, for example, to get groceries, right? Certainly one of these places. So if I buy anything, what do? I go on the app to key in what I bought? How does that work?
No, it's really simple. So in the app, you see offers, what we call loyalty offers.
Okay.
So either offers for you when you're purchasing or offers for you when you want to redeem your points.
Okay.
So in the app, we say, okay, hey, there are loyalty offers at Melcom. You may be able to get 2 or 3 points per CD spent. You just do as you regularly will.
Right.
Go into Malcolm, shop there, get to the point of sale, check out. All you need to do is when you register with Points Africa, you give your number.
Okay.
And then at point of sale, that's all you do as well. You give your phone number, you get your points, and that's it. Basically, really simple.
I like it. So does it work in volumes or in frequency? So if I buy a whole lot today, do I get more points, or it's in how frequently I use the app and buy?
It's both, actually. So the more you use it, the more you buy, you get more points, and then you gather all those points, and then again use it across our network with key partners, basically.
Right, and I really appreciate the integration with Momo and Malcolm. Right, how does turning everyday transactions into rewards change consumer behavior if you want to influence?
Yeah, well, like we mentioned, we're a loyalty company. Basically, it is about changing consumer behavior, but really, again, it's extending the purchase power of the individual Ghanaian. So as you shop, you really get points, and then you extend your purchase power, right? So essentially, you're able to then use those points to get free stuff again, like airtime, data, etc. So it's all about really gathering those points and then shopping across our network with key partners.
Are you open to more partners? Because I see that inherently you are going to achieve a lot of customer retention if your partners do this with you. The fact that consumers can get some rewards will mean that they will keep coming back to you to buy. So are you open to more partners?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got key partners in terms of key categories like grocery, gas, grocery with Malcolm, gas with Star Oil. Glyco is our insurance partner. Then we have a lot of what we call lifestyle partners as well. We also have Jumia as our online e-com partner. So we're welcome to more partners for sure, because the key here is broadening the scope of our partnership and merchants so that, again, everyday Ghanaians can shop wherever they shop and earn points. And with Momo, you're able to then use your Momo anywhere as well and get points for using your Momo.
Right. So I'm online now trying to download the app and see how it works.
Okay, cool.
So good. I see Points Africa. It has the African map. It's very colorful stuff there. So I download it and then I can start using it from there.
Absolutely. That's
Brilliant.
it. Really simple. Add your phone number in, your mobile number in, and then that's it. A password. You get an OTP, and then you go right ahead and earn your points.
Good. It's still downloading, but while we're at it, you've described Points Africa as economic infrastructure, not just a discount scheme. What does that mean in practical terms, and how quickly can consumers earn and redeem points for groceries, fuel, and other essentials?
Yeah, so I mean, as consumers really do today, and we also have, different merchants in the market, they offer discounts, and really you can only get that discount from that one merchant. Right. What Points Africa does is give points across a network of merchants. So as you shop, you're earning those points, you're pooling those points in what we would call a points wallet, and then you're able to use those points today, tomorrow, next week, in terms of extending your purchase power. So it's really a lot better than that one-time discount.
I love it, Andrew. This is great, and trust me, we love shopping. So we'll make the most out of this great opportunity Points Africa is offering our listeners. Thank you so much for passing through.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So Andrew McBannett, the CEO of Points Africa. So go shopping, get more value when you do. Download the Points Africa app now on the App Store, Play Store, and you're good to go. Great innovation. We're grateful for this. And this Ramadan, Nescafe is inviting you on a journey of warmth, gratitude, and giving. For 30 days, discover 30 delightful ways to enjoy your favorite Nescafe. Now, from delicious choice to perfect pairings, each day offers a new way to experience the joy and richness of Nescafe, whether at Suho or Iftar. Enjoy the warmth of togetherness with loved ones and our specially crafted coffee recipes. To learn more, just visit the Nescafe website or connect on social. Nescafe family wishes you Ramadan Kareem. So Independence Weekend is not just for staying home. From the 6th to the 8th, Pack and Watch takes over Black Star Square. 6th and 7th, free drive-in movie nights. Pull in with your car, tune in through your speakers and enjoy great screenings, DJ sets, live performance, vibrant night market, proper food, simple good vibe. 8th March, we make history. Ghana's first ever live drive-in theater. We bring you the Black Star teacher, that is Teacher of Africa. The Black Star, that is Teacher of Africa. A powerful stage production on Ghana's independence and the legacy of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Experience the Park and Watch way from the comfort of your car. Park and Watch is the only cinema experience in Ghana where you can enjoy a wide variety of food while experiencing premium entertainment, all from your car. Tickets visit hypeflixdrivein.com. Call 055-758-7624. Secure your tickets. Each ticket includes popcorn, mango chips, complimentary life insurance cover underwritten by SIC Life Insurance. And if you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, please discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. We have Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, and Piva Grape, as well as Piva Tangy. So grab yours now. Available now at a local store near you. 0550-032-231. Piva beverages, a taste you will love. My name is Caleb. Many thanks for doing the listening. Keep your dials right here. We have brunch in the city coming your way shortly. In the meantime, Sheba Araba Benning is here with the news at 10. Good morning, Sheba.
Good morning, Caleb. Coming up in the bulletin, EPA